There are 13 Halloween movies, but only one can be the best. Some of these films are horror masterpieces and some, well, absolute train wrecks. I reviewed them all, and now it's time to settle the score. This is the complete Halloween saga all in one video. Every mask, every kill, every weird timeline twist. And at the end, I'm ranking all 13 films from worst to best. If you're a fan of The Shame or just love watching horror franchises get completely ranked and reviewed, then you're in the right place. But fair warning, spoilers for every film in the franchise are approaching. Stay tuned to the end of the video where I'll rank each movie individually in a tier list. Lastly, the comment shout out goes to the Nanoscaper. Thank you for your comment. Now, let's start where it all began. Back to the year 1978. The film kicks off with its title sequence backed by its legendary score, composed and performed by the always amazing John Carpenter. Halloween night 1963 sees a young couple initiating some romancing. All the while we follow the POV of a child dressed as a clown. As they enter the back of the home, they grab a butcher knife from the kitchen. Luckily for the dude having relations, he arrives to the station early and heads out the front door, as the boy heads upstairs to kill their older sister by stabbing her over and over. Afterwards, they head outside as their parents are off home. Their dad takes their mask off and we hear his name for the very first time in the franchise, Michael Myers. A doctor named Sam Loomis works as a psychiatrist at Smith's Grove Sanitarium alongside a nurse named Marion Chambers. As they drive towards the sanitarium, they talk of his patient, Michael Myers. In a spectacular shot, we see numerous patients scattered around the main gate. This shot in particular always stayed with me over the years, as it used to creep me out big time. It almost has a analog horror feel to it, with the graininess of the dark nighttime shot of the patients in their white nightgowns. As a buddy likes to say,
Bro, I'm getting the shakies.
Loomis jumps out of the car to investigate, and while Marion waits, someone jumps and climbs to the roof of the car.
What the hell is even that?
She rolls down the window to try and see what that noise was, only to get grabbed. She's able to wiggle out of their grasp and crawl to the ditch as the shape steals their car. All the while, the main theme plays. Chills, dude. The opening sequence to this movie has always been iconic to me. The score, the cinematography, everything was just so top notch. We meet the future Hall of Famer Laurie Strode as she heads out for school. Her dad, a realtor, has her drop off a key at the old Myers house as he's trying to sell it. Tommy Doyle, a boy she babysits, warns her not to approach the door. And boy was he ever right. As she does so, we watch from a perspective inside the home, and we hear the distinct breathing of pure evil. He found his target. The next scene places Laurie in her classroom being stalked by the shape. Throughout the film, we will see more of that, and it goes back to why this movie is as scary as it is. Part of it being the stalking, the waiting in the wind, Michael watching and learning his prey, as sadly stalking is a very real thing. As Loomis is searching for Michael, he stops at a payphone to warn the people of Haddonfield, but then sees a mechanic's truck off the road. We then see that said mechanic without his clothes. Michael killed the man and stole his clothes. Later, as Laurie leaves school, we meet her friends Annie and Linda, in a shot that I have never been able to take seriously, as it's just so damn silly. As they talk, Michael Myers just casually drives by watching them. Annie calls bro out with the line "speed kills," and dude slams on brakes.
Speed kills!
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
He was ready to throw hands then and there, but decided, nah. Not yet. I love it so much, but it's just so random. Like, why did bro slam on brakes? Was my dude really contemplating hopping out the car?
Me and you.
But no, he wisens up and drives off. But where did he go? Laurie actually spots him standing there, lurking. But before Andy could see him, he vanishes behind a bush. Laurie arrives home, and as she goes to shut her window, she sees Michael yet again in her backyard this time. The stalking is crazy. The stalking is getting scary, as each time he has been growing closer and closer, showing us how he is getting closer to acting, to striking at his prey, and how he simply is becoming more bold and brazen. Bro doesn't care about hiding, and he doesn't care if Laurie sees him. That should and would scare anyone in that situation. What wouldn't scare you, however, is hitting that like button and subscribing if you find yourself enjoying the video, as it would make my day. Catching up with Dr. Loomis, we see him at the cemetery to check on Judith Myers' grave. Upon arriving, we see her headstone has been stolen. Judith is Michael's sister, the girl he killed at the start. Seeing this, Loomis realizes he has come home. Michael is in Haddonfield. As Annie and Lori drive down the street, they see cops at the hardware store. Her dad, Sheriff Brackett, informs them that someone has stole a Halloween mask, rope, and a couple of knives. They leave and Loomis arrives. He convinces him to join the hunt in finding Michael. This scene is terrific in more ways than one. One, it's shot very well with all of our lead characters involved, without even knowing of each other's presence. Another way is how we get yet another silly scene, dude. As Loomis waits for Brackett, Michael just kind of cruises by in his stolen car. Mind you, still the same car he stole from Loomis and Marion. It's so silly and it cracks me up every time because all Loomis had to do was turn around.
What?
Behind you! Look!
Oh my god!
I'm not going to mention this entire scene, but as Michael follows him, Lori admits she has a thing for Ben Tramer. Yep, that Ben Tramer. It's here, Halloween night. Loomis and Bracken inspect the old Myers home in hopes of finding him, but he's actually currently stalking his daughter Annie as she begins her night of babysitting. But they do find some stuff. Sadly, a dog that he had to, well, eat, and the room he killed his sister in. After he gets jump scared, he pulls out the blaster, which is when he admits to Brackett that, yeah, he's scared. Don't worry, Loomis. I would be too, because who actually wouldn't be? Raise your hand if you wouldn't be scared in that situation. Put that hand down. Quit lying.
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared.
He tells us about when he met Michael, a 6-year-old boy that he could sense was just pure evil. Similar to Annie, Lori has also started babysitting Tommy. She receives a call from Annie, who is babysitting Lindsay across the street. During this, Tommy sees the boogeyman as he stalks Annie, but when Lori looks, nothing, because he is now at the back door just watching. That is until Lester the family dog begins barking. Michael then proves that he is nothing more than pure evil as he sends Lester to the big farm. Fun fact though, Lori and Tommy are watching The Thing from Another World from 1951. And 4 years after Halloween, John Carpenter would go on to direct The Thing, a remake of that same film. Not so much fun fact, Annie took Lindsay over to Tommy's house for the rest of the night. No, that's not the bad thing. The bad thing is when she gets in the car to leave, Michael sits up and strangles her to death. I'm not going to mention this too much, but next is when Loomis busts out the iconic line to Lonnie, Tommy's bully.
Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there.
Later, we finally catch up to Lori's other friend. Linda and her boyfriend Bob pull up to Lindsay's home in order to bump some uglies. Before that, Linda calls Lori to ask where Annie is, but just get told that they have Lindsay's house all to themselves. So they proceed with the woohooing. After they finish, Bob heads downstairs to get a beer. What follows is one of the most iconic scenes in the Halloween franchise, albeit not realistic, but iconic nonetheless. Michael bursts out of a closet and pins Bob to a pantry door. He lifts him off the ground and stabs him deep in the gut, holding him to the door. He does his world-famous head tilt. Beautiful. Perfection. You just love to see it. Like, actually, this kill was always so cool to me.
Someone cooked here.
Going after Linda, Michael proceeds to wear a sheet over him while wearing Bob's glasses. Man loves his tricks. Linda, believing it to be Bob, isn't prepared for when Michael chokes her out while she's on the phone with Lori.
No, this is Patrick.
2 more friends down, 0 left. Luckily, Loomis has found his stolen ride. Imagine he just gets in and just leaves. He just alright guys, I'm gone, dude. No seeing this, he knows Michael is in the area. He's close. Lori decides to check in on her friends, so she heads across the street. Upstairs, she finds Annie's body purposefully laid out with Judith's headstone. She also finds Bob and Linda and, well, Michael as he takes a piss poor swing at her. She rushes back to Tommy's as the shape slowly pursues her. This scene is extremely tense as we watch how long it takes for Tommy to come to the door, and we see Michael getting closer and closer. Lori quickly asserts herself as a badass by stabbing him with a sewing needle, but he's not quite done. She tries tricking him by opening the balcony doors and hiding in a closet. This did not work. Bro smashing his way through, but being a quick thinker, she uses a clothes hanger to stab his eye. and then uses his knife to stab him. He falls back, seemingly dealt with. So she sends Tommy and Lizzie to go get help, and as she rests, Michael sits up. Seeing the kids running out of the house, Loomis knows what the piss is going on, so he heads over. He sees him choking Lori out, but she manages to take his mask off, so he stops literally everything to put it back on, giving Loomis time to snipe him. He shoots him numerous times until he falls over the balcony. I just wish I knew how many times he shot him.
I shot him 6 times!
Loomis confirms to us that it was the boogeyman, only to see Michael is gone. The movie ends with static shots around all the houses as we hear Michael breathing. Halloween is a true classic in every sense. It has some amazing shots, and don't even get me started on the soundtrack. This movie is terrifying when looked at the premise of the film and the realistic nature of it. Firstly, it's just a man in a mask, no ghosts or ghouls here. Secondly, he doesn't have a motive. We don't know much about him or why he's doing it. He just gets fixated on his target and pursues them until the end. That is something that can and probably has happened before in life. So taking all that into consideration makes Michael Myers scary. He doesn't have a purpose. He's just evil and wants to destroy. So, does Halloween 2 follow suit? The movie begins near where the first one ended, Loomis dumping his clip into Michael as he falls from the second story's balcony. Just like in the original, he's gone, but this time we get to see where he went. We follow a POV of Michael walking around. He sees Loomis and the sheriff patrolling, looking around for him. But he's busy going into an older couple's home. We see the Night of the Living Dead is playing on the TV, but Mrs. Elrod shouldn't be nervous as Michael just wanted her knife. The one who should be worried is her neighbor Alice, as she gets ambushed. This scene is so darn good, dude, as that entire time it was one take. Just one solid take, dude. We just followed Michael as he walked around the neighborhood as he lurked and killed. I'm a sucker for a good long one shot. Afterwards, Lori is taken to the hospital where she will spend the rest of the movie. That's one aspect I'm not the biggest fan of. That and, well, how Lori takes more of a backseat in this film, as she's stuck in her room for a majority of the movie. Dr. Loomis and Sheriff Brackett are still patrolling when they spot him. They see Michael Myers walking down the street, and then he gets run down by a car, finishing him off. Credits roll. No, it was Ben Tramer. What a silly scene, but it ends with them rushing to the crime scene of Annie, the sheriff's daughter from the first film. Jimmy, the ambulance guy that has a crush on Lori, wheels Annie's body away as Loomis and a deputy head to the burned body of who they believe to be Michael. I got bad news for them, as Michael's actually busy doing another long one take. One where he bumps into the kid with a cowboy hat and boombox. The movie uses these one takes to kind of build up on its world and establish a lived-in feel. I love it. It makes the movie feel real. Not only do we have the main cast in Haddonfield, but other random people. It's subtle, but refreshing. We see us heading to the hospital in hopes of finishing off Laurie Strode. After Michael arrives in some car he stole, we cut to the rest of our main cast, employees of the hospital. In yet another long one-shot, we see Michael watching some nurses as he stalks from the baby room. Yes, I don't know the technical name for that room. It's a storage closet for babies. I don't know, man. In such a cool-ass scene, we cut to the nurses talking, and we see a faint Michael watching in that room as he turns and heads out, continuing his search. Amazing, dude. So very nice. Jimmy again heads to visit Lori.
Wow, man. Damn.
Where he informs her of just who he is, or was, because he's pure evil. But he gets kicked out by Mrs. Alves, who learns the phones are down and no longer working. Thanks to Mrs. Alves, Garrett, the security guard, is outside checking the telephone pole, trying to learn what happened to their phone lines. But instead, he sees a broken padlock. He enters the room and radios back that someone broke into the storeroom, but the walkie-talkie isn't working properly. A noise startles him, and as he goes to investigate, he notices yet another broken padlock. My guy, is there a padlock in this world that's not broken? Like, come on now. He heads to another door, and you won't believe me when I tell you this, but he finds another broken padlock. This movie is a padlock's worst nightmare. And for Garrett as well, as when he shuts the door, A hidden Michael brings the hammer down, ending Garrett. The events of the first film has been playing all over the TV and radios, causing widespread panic. Loomis and the deputy arrive to the old Myers home to see a mob of people throwing rocks and yelling. As Loomis puts it, it's a wake for their fallen comrades. Back at the hospital, it's pretty darn empty at this point. Employees are breaking tons of rules and maybe a law or two by making out on hospital equipment. Meanwhile, Lori is having a dream about her past and about her family. Those employees, Karen and Bud, take their session over to a hot tub. Hot tub? Do hospitals actually have these?
I do not know that answer right now, but I will do everything in my power to get that information for you. Please hold.
Am I just an idiot? Probably. Anyways, Michael started turning up the heat, but not in a weird way, thankfully, but by using the water controls. Bud goes to check it out since they notice it getting super hot. But Michael likes the heat, so he strangles Bud to death with a cord so he's not able to turn the temperature back down, and proceeds to grab Karen and drowns her in the boiling water. Catching up with Team Loomis, we see a school that Michael broken into, where he left a bloody word on the wall. It simply said, Sam Hain. During this, Marion Crane arrives to pick up Loomis as he was ordered back to Smith's Grove. Jimmy, Jimmy, goes to check on Lori yet again. He notices something is wrong, so he gathers the nurses, where one nurse, Janet, heads to get Dr. Mixter. Finding him with a syringe in his eye, she backs up into Michael, who injects her face with another syringe. Since Janet nor Dr. Mixter is back, Jimmy heads off to find Mrs. Alves, leaving Lori alone. Well, alone until Michael finds her room. He stabs her. Wait, she's gone. She knew and started taking off down the halls. Slowly, because, of all the drugs and pain she's in, but it's movement nonetheless. Jimmy runs into a nurse named Jill as she searches for the others. He tells her to go and get help. I'm sure she'll make it. As Jimmy continues to search, he finds Alves, whose blood has been drained. Jimmy turns to leave and just slips. He knocks himself out, dude. Bro, how? You had one job, Jimmy. That nurse, Jill, tried to leave, but she noticed the tires on the cars have been slashed, forcing them to stay and await for help. So she runs back into the hospital when she manages to spot Lori. She heads over to her only to get stopped by Michael Myers as he stabs her in the back, lifting her up and off the ground. He drops her and pursues Lori with the amazing Halloween soundtrack kicking in. Lori manages to make it to an elevator and uses it to make it outside. She rushes to hide in a car, looking out the window, but nothing's there. It's quiet. A little too quiet. Catching up back to Loomis and Marion, she tells us the truth. At least in this timeline, because there's about 100 of them now. Michael Myers and Laurie Strode are related, brother and sister, but the court sealed the documents in hopes of keeping them hidden. After hearing this, Loomis forces the deputy to take him to the hospital, now knowing where Michael is. As Laurie hides, we hear someone approach, but it's just Jimmy. He prepares to start the car, but forgot to get his 8 hours in, so he passes out and lands on the car horn, alerting any would-be babysitter killers in the area to their whereabouts. She crawls out of the car and sees Loomis and the team arrive. She calls out for help, but to no avail. Laurie manages to get to her feet just in time as Michael comes around the corner. In a scene mimicking the original, Laurie bangs on a door, screaming for help as Michael approaches. Loomis lets her in and tells Michael, nope, you're not allowed inside, buddy. But Michael gets his feelings hurt and just busts through the door so he can eat all of Loomis's bullets.
I shot him 6 times.
Michael is not done, though. He sits up and takes out the cop and again pursues Laurie alongside Loomis. Eventually, Michael makes it to their room. He stabs Loomis to the ground as Laurie tries to reason with him, but she settles with popping him twice in the eyes. Like, both of them. Both eyes, dude. No longer able to see, he starts frantically swinging his blade as Loomis fills the room with gas. Loomis blows the room sky high, ending himself, and Mike, oh, hold up, bro, still kicking and screaming. Laurie, wait, what are you doing? Run, he's cooked. Oh, now he's cooked. Yes, I said that. The movie ends with Michael's mask burning as Mr. Sandman plays. Halloween 2 is a worthy sequel to a masterpiece of an original. While I could do without the sibling connection, I can understand why they did it at the time, as this movie was originally set up to be the end of the Michael Myers storyline. As we all know, Halloween 3 is the season of the witch and has no involvement with Michael whatsoever. I enjoyed the hospital setting, but I could have used more of the Haddonfield setting. We only had the brief bit from the beginning. One flaw for the movie was the lack of Laurie's involvement. She wasn't utilized as much as I would have liked. We open up to a Northern California town. It's a Saturday night, October the 23rd, as a man is sprinting away. While the car is in hot pursuit, he is seemingly able to hide. That is, until he is grabbed and taken to the ground by a random suited man. He reaches and grabs a chain, freeing a car that was apparently left in neutral, allowing it to roll and eliminate the would-be killer. Before we move on, this movie is silly, and it requires you to turn your brain off and join them along the ride if you intend on enjoying the movie. Because for instance, that car rolled approximately 3 miles per hour and squeaked dude to death. Bro got killed by an inconvenience. The man is able to escape his pursuers. 1 hour later, we see a gas station employee straight up chilling, as the TV tells us about one of the stones at Stonehenge being stolen. How? I don't know, neither does the reporter. It's a sizable rock, but they soon cut to a commercial. The Silver Shamrock commercial, a company selling some Halloween masks. This theme song has always stuck with me. Every October, you can catch me bumping this song to get me in the mood.
Pause.
The man from earlier shows up holding one of those said masks in his hand, so the employee takes him to the hospital. This is when we meet Dr. Daniel Fallis. No, I mean Chalice. He has to leave his ex-wife and kids to go to the hospital to treat the man, all while his kids wear their new Silver Shamrock mask and watch the commercial from about 4 inches from the screen. If you don't mess with the theme song, then boy, I got some bad news for you, as it plays back to back throughout the film. A man in a suit puts on some gloves and enters the injured man's hospital room and proceeds to suffocate. Oh, what the shit is he doing to dude? He pulled his nose in order to kill him and then heads outside to blow himself up in order to hide his tracks. That's right, a random man did the kill. This movie has no Michael Myers, and that's one of, if not the primary reason many people didn't enjoy or even give this movie a chance. Instead of following the mass killer of the 2 previous films, the franchise decided to become an anthology series. But because this film was so poorly received, they reverted those changes as Michael does reappear again in the next movie. But if you are receiving this video well, then be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as I have recently done the entire Scream franchise, and I'm currently working on the Halloween franchise. So, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers is up next, so be on the lookout for that one. October the 24th, Ellie Grambridge confirms it was her dad that was killed. I mention that as she is of importance. Wednesday, October the 27th, at a bar, Daniel has the bartender change the TV channel. He ends up leaving on a football game, but before that, the movie Halloween is shown, confirming it as a film in this movie's world. Soon, Ellie shows up and begins a team up with Daniel. They drive on over to Santa Mira, home of the Silver Shamrock novelties, in order to get some answers. The suited men are hidden all around the town as they enter. All the while, the citizens here just kind of stare, just kind of watching them. Eventually, the two arrive to a motel, soon followed by Buddy and Betty Kupfer, as well as another woman. Apparently, this motel is a hot ticket item because it's just back to back. A random romance side plot just starts happening here as well, which is another reason, albeit a minor reason, why some may have not liked this movie. It's just kind of unneeded and felt kind of forced for the sake of having the 2 leads get freaky. As night approaches, town-wide speakers installed by the president of this tiny town, Colonel Cochran, spout out the curfew is now in effect and that everyone must remain indoors during the night, as cameras monitor the streets. I wonder why. Later, a local drunk man badmouthed Cochran and threatened his factory, causing some of the suits to oh my god, they pulled his head off! The last lady that showed up to the motel, Marge, talks to Ellie about the masks and their lower quality, because her daughter threw the mask and caused a branded circle to fall out. What could that be? Just before going to bed, she notices on the ground. The back of it has a computer chip in it. She begins messing with it when all of a sudden a lightsaber turns on, killing her with some amazing practical effects. That's a huge upside for the movie, the practical effects alongside the gore. Until later entries, this movie was by far the most gruesome. Mr. Cochran shows up with his scientists to take away Marge's body, as Daniel and Ellie are forced to watch. This movie, like the rest of the franchise, doesn't try to hide who the bad guy is. This movie paints Cochran to be the Dr. Evil of this world off the rip. Saturday, October the 30th, one more day till Halloween. The Cuffer family, along with the Smith family, meet up with Cochran and are given the guided tour of the factory. The Cuffer's son is given a mask by Cochran himself that has been given those final touches. As he puts on the mask, we see the same patch that killed Marge. The Smith family heads to the exit after spotting the suits, and then even spotting Ellie's father's car. Being freaked out, they prepare to skip town. Daniel goes to call the police, but the lines are dead. So he just heads back and sees Ellie is gone. Damn, Daniel. Sorry. She really just up and left you. Oh, no, okay, the suits are here and they took her. And now they want Daniel. He manages to escape out the bathroom window. He's able to make it to the factory in order to try and save his newly kindled romance. He finds a woman doing a little sewing and demands to know where she is.
Where are they? Killing is making a choice. Where are they?
But by doing so, he knocks her head off. She's a robot, and so are the suits who attack and capture Daniel. Sunday, October the 31st, Halloween Day. Cochran takes Daniel into the final processing room where we get the usual villain monologue. Remember when we were told the stone from Stonehenge had been stolen? That's what Cochran is using to create the evil mask. Pieces of the stone are placed into those silver shamrock patches, allowing the mask to kill anyone wearing it at the time. We are shown this when the young Cuffer's son watches the infamous commercial while wearing the pumpkin mask. The mask activates, ending the poor boy. The mask also allows for the mass creation of bugs and snakes, with dozens crawling around. We then cut to a shot of kids all across the country wearing the mask as the final commercial plays on. I didn't mention this lady once because she doesn't really play that vital of a role. She's a co-worker of Daniel's that has been examining some ashes, but nearing the end she gets drilled in the head in Cochran's attempts at covering his tracks. Speaking of Cochran, as he finishes up his monologue to the signature Halloween theme, he places a mask on Daniel and just lets him watch the original Halloween movie until it's time for the big one.
Pause.
John Carpenter, of course, killed it on the score, but he didn't direct this movie, and it shows. It's not poorly directed, mind you, but it has a more silly and lighthearted tone and feel to it, whereas Carpenter's directing had a more serious and eerie feeling. And I believe that to be the other major reason why viewers didn't turn out and didn't tune in for this third outing, because originally John Carpenter didn't want this movie to be made, nor did he want to direct it. And with him being one of the reasons the original is so beloved, it might have caused some disdain for this movie. And tack on the no Myers treatment just had audiences not really feeling this movie. Daniel escaped his chair and makes his way to Ellie and unties her. They begin to flee, all while Cochran sends his suits to find them. As they hide, they find a box of those shamrock patches. Daniel sneaks off and stealthily approaches the control panel that's surrounded by robots and Cochran. Bro's a ghost. Meanwhile, I'm over here freaking out about how no one sees dude walking up. There's literally robot dudes looking at the damn camera.
Hi, how are you?
Yet they don't see Daniel's goofy ass creeping up like he's about to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula. Like how, dude?
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
I'm sorry. I'm asking too many questions. He turns on the commercial, and as he runs back to Ellie, he's finally spotted. The home team makes it to a catwalk above everyone and begins raining down those patches, eliminating every robot, leaving just Cochran there, who then evaporates as the stone blows up the factory.
Pause! What is that?
The Smith family did it. They drive away as the town burns. But something is wrong with Ellie. She attacks Daniel in what I can only assume will lead to a nasty divorce.
John, I want a divorce.
Divorce.
It's not funny, John, and you know it's been coming for a long time. 15 years, and all I've heard from you is laughter.
Divorce.
Stop laughing.
On a real note, it's not actually Ellie. Not anymore, anyway. She was turned into a robot. Daniel goes Jason Voorhees and knocks her head clean off her shoulders. Daniel runs off, making it to the same gas station from the beginning. 3 kids come in to get candy and watch the commercial, as it's playing on 3 channels. The first 2 are taken down, but the third? The film ends as Daniel screams for the commercial to be taken off the air. So Halloween 3, The Season of the Witch is good, the way I choose to look at it, that is. Take away the name Halloween and just watch it for what it is, and it's a fun, silly, and sometimes gory ride. Many people despise this movie because of the lack of Michael Myers and the change in directors. But given the score, the practical effects, and the look of the mask, and even low-key the theme song of the commercial makes me enjoy this film. It's not the best, but it's certainly not the worst. If created with a new name and a separate franchise, I could see this movie having been much more successful. But with those downsides I've described, it lowers it down on the totem pole for many. October 30th, 1988. 10 years after the events of the first two movies, we arrive at a sanitarium. A security officer named Jones leads two Smiths-Groves employees into what he calls hell. Meanwhile, he catches us, the audience, up on the recap of the first two movies. They tape up and load a man onto the Smiths-Groves ambulance. What man? That man, dude. Michael Myers.
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared.
As they inform us that he actually has a living relative. And no, not Laurie Strode, but her daughter, Jamie Lloyd. Jamie Lee Curtis blew up and went riff-raff on the series, at least for a while.
My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
But I don't really blame her. So yes, this movie is missing a key ingredient, but it is nonetheless a return to form. As hearing of his living relative, Michael balls his fist up and eliminates the ambulance workers. We jump over to this said relative as she prepares for bed alongside her surrogate sister Rachel, who inherited this role after Laurie's character died off screen. Before she can lay down, she gets grabbed by something under her bed. She breaks free as we see Michael Myers back in the— oh wait, it was just a bad dream.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
We jump over to the next day, Halloween Day. Richard and Darlene Carruthers inform their daughter Rachel that she has to babysit Jamie and cannot go on her date with Brady. Ain't no way she had a date set up with TB12. Wait, who is this? This ain't the GOAT. Anyways, we see a man walking down a hall, but it's not just any man. Dr. Samuel Loomis enters a room, again in search of the boogeyman. You see what I mean? Yeah, we don't have one of the greatest final girls in all of fiction here, but we have Michael Myers and Loomis hunting down the shape. That's classic Halloween back in action. After learning of the crashed ambulance that once contained pure evil, Loomis goes to check it out. Seeing the carnage, but no Mike Myers.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Oh. Loomis knows the next step in the Halloween formula, so he informs the town's police that he is heading to Haddonfield, a 4-hour drive to a town that has become synonymous with evil that strikes on Halloween night. Speaking of striking, if you find yourself enjoying this video so far, please do strike that like button and strike that subscribe button for future content, as I still have the rest of the franchise to look at. Another instance of this film being a return to form is the next scene. At a garage, a mechanic is working on the truck when he proceeds to get killed by Michael Myers, as he does need his outfit. Similar to the original, because yeah, it is a straight ripoff of the original. It's a borderline copycat film, to be honest. The same plot, the same motives, and hell, even some of the same scenes. Now that's not to say this is a bad movie by no means. I mean, hey, if it works, right? They have a working formula, and I'm sure every movie will follow that formula. Speaking on that, Akkad even said, I just went back to the basics of Halloween on Halloween 4, and it was the most successful. I don't know if I would go that far, bud. But I get what he meant. It's a working formula that has proved successful in the past and was mostly successful here. Loomis arrives to the same shop Michael went to. He sees a few dead employees and even Michael himself standing off in the kitchen. At least I think that's Michael. I mean, he's kind of wrapped up. His face has like bandages all around him. Huh. He's halfway back. He's suited up. Now he just needs his mask. In a badass shot, at least as long as you don't think about it too hard, we see Loomis drop his cane and talk to Michael. He begs him to leave Haddonfield and the innocent people alone, even if it means he becomes Michael's next victim. But then Loomis shoots Mike, and he's gone. But how? Yeah, we took our eyes off him, but not Loomis. Bro was locked in, yet he was confused when Michael was no longer there. Bro took these last 10 years to learn Jason's teleporting powers, apparently. Loomis runs outside screaming for him, and Michael, being the respectful lad that he is, he shows himself. Well, by driving the mechanic's truck through the garage and escapes the scene, blowing up Loomis's car along the way. I haven't mentioned much about this, but Jamie has been going through it. Understandably so. Not only did she lose her mom and feel like she doesn't belong, but she also has a group of, well, 80s movie bullies picking on her in the most disgusting and awful way. They chase her outside as they sing the words, "Jamie's an orphan, dude." Kids are so damn cruel, dog.
Jamie's an orphan.
Like, that's so insane. Rachel, along with her friend Lindsay, pick up Jamie from school. And yes, fun fact, this Lindsay was originally going to be revealed to be Lindsay Wallace from the original Halloween, but was sadly cut due to budget reasons. At least we know in our hearts. Yet another way the movie would have tied to the original and had to return to its roots. Rachel and Jamie stop off at Brady's job so she could talk to Brady about their plans later that night, as Jamie picks out her new clown costume for trick-or-treating. Nah, dude, they are so wrong for this. I just realized this while editing this video. That is absolutely crazy, dude. Like, at this point, they gotta know Michael Myers wears that mask, so yet their best decision is they're gonna sell one too? Come on, man.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Brady is not taking the news well. Bro was over there fighting demons because he kind of just becomes an ass.
Well, why didn't you tell me before? I mean, it's 5 o'clock now, Rachel.
Don't get angry.
I'm not angry, it's just...
Meanwhile, Jamie sees herself as a young Michael in the mirror and then just sees Michael again. She gets jump scared back into a mirror, smashing it. Well, there's 7 years of bad luck. Man, can this day get any worse? That's kind of the overarching story taking place. Michael's niece is seeing some of that evil in her. As we watch Rachel comfort her, we see Michael's reflection in some of the mirror's broken glass. Is he really just in her mind? We jump on over to Loomis as he walks down the street, trying to hitchhike. Luckily for him though, it's the 80s and everyone's still just cool with picking up a random old man. Oh wait, never mind, he didn't get picked. Okay, no, someone else just pulled up and was cool with it. So yeah, that joke still works. The man, Mr. Sayer, talks about hunting, but not hunting an animal, but damnation. To me, this is Sayer being used to symbolize the connection between Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis, the two being intertwined, by Loomis spending decades hunting down that damnation, or Michael Myers, something he can't seem to end. As Mr. and Mrs. Carruthers are leaving for the night, we see someone watching them from across the street. While Rachel tries to call Brady, we follow the POV of the person lurking in the shadows as they creep around the yard. And when Rachel and Jamie leave to go trick-or-treating, they enter the home. Seeing a picture of Laurie Strode on the ground, we watch as a hand reaches out and grabs it, confirming to us that it is Michael, just in case you had any doubts. He cares because, remember, this is his sister, and now he knows about his niece Jamie. Again, I could care less about the family ties, as I much prefer the random target motive. But it works well enough here, and I understand why they wanted to go this route. They wanted to try and keep continuity. I know, ironic, right? But also because of how Jamie Lee Curtis declined to reprise her role, and since the filmmakers wanted to go back to its roots, this was their way of doing so. Loomis finally arrives at Haddonfield PD and asks to speak to Sheriff Brackett, but since he understandably retired, he has to talk to the new sheriff in town, Sheriff Meeker. He explains the situation, you know, big bad killer breaking free from Ridgemont and is heading back home. That thing. He explains how Michael is after his niece and how she's in mortal danger. Bro must have 20/20 vision on Double XP weekend or something, because yeah, she is. And Michael is stalking them as they go trick-or-treating. So not only do we see Brady betraying Rachel by sleeping with his co-worker, but so does Michael. I knew I didn't like that dude, I knew it. While he tries to explain by giving the "it's not what you think" type of excuse, Jamie heads off with her newly found friends. You're not that guy, bud. Brady, you are not that guy, bud. A news broadcast tells the citizens that all businesses should close down for the time being. But a certain bar owner and patrons decide to find out why and load up into a truck and head to the sheriff's home. But the sheriff is with Loomis at Jamie and Rachel's home checking for clues. When they find a good boy, no longer able to play. I'm not exactly sure why he felt it was truly necessary to do this, but Michael chunks a dude into the main town's electrical systems, causing everyone to lose power. Eventually, Rachel and Jamie find each other, but so does Team Loomis. They take the kids to the police station, only to find it destroyed along with everyone in it. But when they go outside, they see the angry mob team show up. After Loomis tells them it was Michael Myers, they jump in the trucks and go hunting. Hunting that damnation, like Mr. Sayer said.
Shit, Earl. It's Ted Hollister.
As Brady and Kelly attempt to get intertwined, they are interrupted when her dad, the sheriff, arrives with the others. Awkward. The sheriff has everyone barricade and suit up for the inevitable clash. After some time, Loomis and Meeker convince the state police to come. So, following this, Loomis leaves to go to the Carruthers' house as he believes that to be where Michael is. Meanwhile, Rachel and Kelly finally have their long-awaited and extremely rough conversation that doesn't end well. At least, they're both alive. Kelly finds the deputy in his chair. No, the deputy is dead and Michael is sitting there. He gets up, gun in hand, prepared to shoot her down. Or actually ram the gun through her and the wall behind her. Yeah, I mean, that's one way to do it, I guess. Nah, it's iconic though and unique. So, I'm all for it. It's something different. Rachel and Brady discover the bodies.
No, we gotta do this. Get out of here right now.
Not without Jamie.
And that they are all locked in the house. They go upstairs with Michael in hot pursuit. Well, maybe just pursuit. The girls are forced to keep going while Brady stands there reloading just to miss and get absolutely manhandled by big man Mike.
Run, bitch! Run!
Brady should have known that the ass character never makes it out alive, so don't be an ass, Brady. The girls manage to escape an attic window onto the roof, but so does the shape. Rachel uses gravity to escape though, leaving Jamie running off into Loomis. Together they go to the schoolhouse. The boogeyman and his beach blonde hair knock out Loomis, leaving Jamie alone yet again.
Excited.
But luckily not for long, as Rachel and the mob from earlier drive her to safety. Or so we thought. Somehow Michael climbs aboard.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
And eliminates the cavalry. But Rachel is eventually able to toss him off the roof and run him down.
Pause! What is that?
While Rachel talks to the just arriving sheriff, Jamie holds her uncle's hand. But not for long, as he stands up to just get absolutely plastered by everyone until he falls back and into a hole. We jump to later back at the Carruthers' home, with everyone there. In a scene mimicking the original, we see someone put on a mask and grab some scissors. We follow their POV as we watch them stab Darlene Carruthers to death. The Halloween score takes us to the end of the film, Loomis screaming at Jamie, the evil seemingly passed down from her uncle. Halloween 4 is a fun and enjoyable return to form, but maybe a little too much, with multiple scenes from the original being remade in order to go back to the basics. While I did enjoy having Michael Myers back, because who wouldn't be, I just couldn't find myself liking his look. He looked too wide and round with a goofy looking mask, but not the worst mask, may I add. This one just didn't feel as scary as the two before it. So following Michael's barrage of bullets and little stumble, he uses the hole to crawl out to a river and then uses it to escape the actual TNT the town uses to try and blow bro sky high. The Halloween theme kicks off as we watch Michael just kinda float down the river. It's so silly and goofy, and I've never been able to take that part seriously. He uses a fishing net to pull himself up and out. He approaches the fisherman and grabs him, No, he falls out, taking a much needed nap. Speaking of a much needed nap, we jump over to a children's clinic in Haddonfield where Jamie is unable to sleep as the memories of what she did haunts her. She clenches her fist and so does Michael as they are connected. Off behind the fisherman, wait, who is that? Michael puts on their mask and takes out the fisherman. Meanwhile, somehow almost taking out Jamie in the process as the doctors have to rush to try and help her. But luckily for her, Samuel Loomis is here to stop them as he knows what's going on. But why is bro literally everywhere? Why is dude just here in a children's clinic? Anyways, let's leave Loomis for a bit as we see Rachel, Tina, Jamie, and oh my god, Dr. Loomis. Bro is everywhere all at once. Before leaving, Rachel mentions her mom, who actually survived the attack at the end of the 4th movie. Later, Rachel walks her dog Max home, who's a very good boy as they try to warn her of the shape stalking her. But she could care less as she has some showering with music blaring to do. Let's take a step back for a second and talk about Jamie. In this installment, she has become mute due to becoming severely traumatized, and she has been having nightmares and seizures. The latter of which is showcased as her being intertwined and connected with her uncle, the boogeyman, almost a telepathic link. Going back to the movie now, Jamie begins having one of those moments while Rachel showers, but since Loomis notices this, he calls and interrupts her shower and has her run downstairs to check on Max. But when she gets there, she sees he's been let out, the door being propped open. So she runs next door to have the police called. The cops check it out, and luckily they are the scariest, the meanest, is that clown music?
All clear. Nothing above, nothing below.
Brother, what?
This is a load of barnacles.
Rachel, now assuming she's safe, goes home to get dressed, not noticing the brand new Michael Myers life-size t-shirt she bought. Jamie begins having a seizure as Michael stabs Rachel with a pair of scissors, surprisingly ending a final girl 20 minutes in. As dirty as Rachel was handled, I can't help but love this scene. The stalking, the hiding in plain sight, waiting to strike. Us as the audience knowing he's there, only for him to sneak around, not alerting anyone, until he attacks. It reminds me of the deliberate and predator-like actions Michael took in the original. But the thing is, without our final girl, who will it be now? We have to have one. Tina arrives to Rachel's and finds her friend Sammy, but no Rachel. And yet they just assume she went out of town with her parents, so they just leave and meet up with Danny from Greece. But the movie calls him Mike.
Tina, I thought Rachel was sticking around. Oh, I did too. But I guess she decided to go up to the country with her parents.
Loomis talks to Jamie and asks her where Michael is, politely. Oh shit, he basically hounds her, believing she is protecting him. But not getting answers from the 9-year-old girl, he heads off to Michael's home? Whose house is it supposed to be? Cause it ain't Mikey's. But he isn't alone after all. As I didn't mention this earlier, a man dressed in all black, donning a random, non-cursing tattoo, follows Loomis. The whole man in black shit was so random and goofy and really takes me out of this movie. We jump over to Mike as he picks up some alcohol for a party. But this guy has got to be one of the most annoying characters in the franchise, as he threatens a dude for just touching his car. Yet he follows it up by driving that said car recklessly. Like, bro, chill, it's not like it got scratched. Well, alright then. Wait till Mike gets a hold of Mike for that. And Mike v. Mike is over before it starts. And yeah, spoiler alert, I'm not Mike's biggest fan, so I'm glad his car got slashed. And if you're enjoying this video so far, why don't you slash that subscribe button so you can stay up to date as I have the rest of the franchise to check out. While Jamie participates in the town's costume pageant and Loomis watches as he just loves community events, Tina gets picked up for their party. In a very unique scene that will either have you love it or hate it, Tina tells Michael to open the door.
Michael, open the door.
But it's not her Michael, but ours. He's wearing the mask Tina bought him and everything. Bro's killing the cosplay. Bro even drives them around town while also embodying the douche role by getting upset with Tina for asking him to pull over. That's why your reverse lights don't work, bud. Wait, let me stop. He started having me convinced he might actually be the boyfriend, Mike. Luckily for Tina, Jamie's telepathic power saves her by having the cops come pick her up. Upon seeing Tina, Jamie is able to talk.
Tina!
It's a really great emotional scene, but everyone just forgetting about Rachel is crazy. Like Loomis, Jamie, and the cops knew she was still in town. But nah, let's not bring her up. Tina heads off to her party, leaving Jamie running off to find her. But Michael finds her and her friends first. In a barn chasing kittens, Sammy and Spitz run into Michael. Well, kinda. Michael runs into them as they started getting all romantical. He takes them both out using common farm tools. After leaving the barn, Michael gets spotted by the clown patrol and they whistle him over. As he approaches the cops, they bash his lack of authority and blame the parents. Okay, I'm starting to like these guys. They got a good chuckle out of me, I won't lie. But can you guess who's not laughing? No, besides Michael. Tina. The answer is Tina, because she just found her friends beginning the final girl circuit. This time, however, Mikey Mike has had enough of that slow walk pursuit type stuff, so he just tries to run everyone down with the car. Tina, Jamie, and little bro Billy. Michael don't care. Anyone and everyone on the table.
We do not care.
Bro was playing GTA 6 earlier or something. Luckily, Jamie hits Bro with the bob and weave method, causing Michael to crash into a tree. He is not done yet though. Tina, in a powerful and emotionally driven moment, sacrifices herself to save Jamie. A role that would have been better suited for Rachel, but yeah, whatever. Loomis arrives with Meeker to save Billy and Jamie. As they leave, Loomis literally just walks up to Michael and is like, "Hey bro, we're having the after party at your place. Whole crew showing up, Jamie included, so swing on by, but it's BYOB." Eddie, a policeman, radios to Team Loomis about an approaching cop car and just starts moaning in the radio. Michael has arrived to the party. Loomis, having lost all patience, forces another cop and Jamie to stay put in order to try and take out Michael, using them as bait. Michael spawns in on the stairs behind Loomis. He talks to Bro like they've been homies for 20 years, which I guess they kind of were. He claims Jamie could end his rage, and Michael seemingly begins to listen. Is it actually working? No, not at all. He slashes Bro and tosses him downstairs. Meanwhile, the cop busts out a window so Jamie can escape. But alas, they weren't fast enough. He takes out the cop. In an infamous scene, we see Jamie using a trash chute, I guess? I don't know the scientific name for that bad boy. But anyways, she climbs inside and tries to hide, but falls to the bottom once Michael arrives. Annoyed he now has to go to the basement, he stabs at her while she climbs back out through the top. She makes a break for it to the attic, because I guess the front door doesn't exist. In the attic, she comes across where Michael has been chilling. There, she finds the bodies of Mike, Rachel, and what, a stuffed dog toy?
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Oh, that's supposed to be Max? Hearing Michael approaching, she lays in a coffin. She just stops Bro in his tracks by calling him Uncle. He takes his mask off so she can see him. Seeing they are the same, she reaches for him, but Bro did not like that. He starts trying to attack her again, but she is saved when she runs into a recently awoken Loomis. Wait, he uses her as bait and offers her up to Michael? But it's all a part of the plan. He drops a chain net on him and starts spraying Bro with a trank gun, but when that don't work, he just starts beating him with a plank of wood. He did it. Loomis and he's dead. Bro collapsed on top of Michael. Following this, in the goofiest scene ever, we see Michael arrested and locked up. But don't worry, an explosion goes off as the random ass man in black starts going red dead on the whole police station in order to free Michael Myers. The film ends in a very similar manner as the fourth entry. Instead of Loomis, Jamie is screaming no as the camera switches to an open jail cell with no Michael Myers in sight. Halloween 5: The Revenge of Michael Myers is a great film when it wants to be, but it also suffers from not being able to take itself seriously and a lack of direction. Although I did grow to like the clown cops a little, but the actual clown music was just unneeded and took away from the tone of the film. I get you wanted a comedic aspect, but that's not the route you should take. Before I mention the big ticket item that hurts this movie, let's discuss one more aspect: Michael's mask. I think most of us can agree on how awful the mask is in this one. The naked dude's mask isn't even tucked into the suit. Like, come on, Michael, fix your mask, man, please, it's getting brutal. But anyways, the major reason: the change in direction. The 4 through 6 films are a trilogy, yet right after the ending of the 4th one, they changed the tone. They changed the direction. Hell, they even changed Final Girls. Instead of having that impactful ending from the 4th movie, they decided to retcon it to just an attack and nothing more. Jamie no longer having that evil inside her. Could have been a very interesting and unique route, but they backtracked and changed directions. The movie opens up to a pregnant lady being wheeled down a hallway, screaming in pain. Who is this? Another new character? Jamie Lloyd. Okay, so this is happening. A grown Jamie has just given birth to a child who is proceeded to be taken away by the man in black. Yeah, the dude from part 5. Meanwhile, we see a baby lying on a table with Michael Myers' tattoo on its belly. surrounded by cult members with someone narrating as the scene plays out. But catching up with everyone's new favorite final girl, Jamie attempts to escape with her baby using the aid of a nurse. Well, not for long, as they ran in two separate directions. Michael appears, lifting her off the ground and recreating his bobkill using the one and only spike in his long, narrow hallway. Lucky break for the big man. He quickly, a little too quick to be real, chases after Jamie, who steals a man's truck. I'm sure he doesn't mind. As she drives off, we jump over to a boy. We see visions of the man in black telling him to kill, similar to Jamie in part 4. Is the man in black his uncle now or something? His mom, Kara, listens to a radio show host named Barry Sims recall the events of the last movie, but wrong, as she changes clothes. Kara takes a peek out the window and, hey, whoa, what is going on here? Bro is a creeper. Lock that man up.
Wow, man. Damn.
Paul Rudd plays Tommy Doyle, the creeper, in Rudd's technically first major role. You know it's crazy how popular that Barry Sims guy is? Literally everyone is listening in, even Dr. Sam Loomis, which I guess is understandable as the writers love Howard Stern, with that role actually being specifically designed for Stern, but he just declined to be involved. And if you're loving this video as much as they love Howard Stern, then be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as I will be covering the rest of the Halloween franchise. A caller on the show mentions how they heard Loomis died, which is a real gut punch.
Barry, what happened to that psychiatrist of his, Loomis? I heard the old quack was dead. What are you looking for?
Not dead. Just very much retired.
As Donald Pleasance, the actor who was in poor health during the filming, died months before the release. One thing this movie did right was to dedicate itself to the legend. Rest in peace to the icon. We catch up with Jamie as she arrives to a place called Fast Trip, trying to call for help on a payphone, but the emergency service lines apparently don't work, and since everyone is listening to Barry Sims, she just calls his number. Meanwhile, Loomis is visited by his old friend, Terrence Wynn, a fellow doctor with a brief appearance in the original, returning to become a main character. He wants Loomis to return to Smith's Grove, but let Poe retire, man. Before Loomis can give his full answer, they hear Jamie calling for help on Barry Sims' show. So no, he's not retired, just like that. Michael has arrived to Jamie's hiding spot, but don't worry, she escapes out of there and makes it to a barn in the middle of nowhere. She's our final girl after all, she can't die. What the shit, Michael just stabbed her. He goes to the truck to take her baby, but no baby. The Strode family now occupies the Myers home, a rather unique twist on the franchise, which, by the way, it's again a different house. Huh? After part 5 done changed it up to some random mansion. We already met Kara and Danny, but rounding out the rest of the family is her mom and dad, Deborah and John Strode, and her big brother Tim Strode. John is a pretty big doucher.
Ooh, yeah, what you lucky my friend's holding me. You lucky, because I'll tear your head off.
Tim's girlfriend Beth even knows it's just an average day for Kara. Tommy Doyle throughout the movie is shown to be becoming the next Dr. Loomis, someone obsessed with investigating and tracking down that pure evil. His searching pays off though, as he finds Jamie's baby hidden in a cabinet. Although throughout the movie and even into part 5 there have been hints at a cult, a symbol marked by Michael, the one etched into his skin. At Jamie's crime scene, many bales of hay have that exact symbol burned into it. Later that day, Kara drops her things, which is when we see yet another one of Danny's artworks, this time depicting his family all being wiped out by something called Thorn. In the drawing, the shape is labeled Thorn, so it's trying to inform us more on Michael Myers and the cult controlling him. It's a freaky drawing to say the least.
I think it's cool.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man!
Alright. Tommy Doyle runs across Loomis at the hospital. He informs Bro that no, Jamie isn't the end of the line, but the Strode family, the one that adopted Lori, that is now residing in the Myers' home. He gets ran off by security for just being kinda damn weird, but schedules a meeting with Loomis later as he scurries off with the baby. Making sure Jamie was technically alive, Loomis then leaves to warn the Strode family. John, of course, doesn't believe the news because the husband never does in a horror movie. But usually in horror movies, they aren't as much of a terrible person as John is.
John, I want a divorce.
Divorce.
Why do you always laugh when I'm upset?
After Deborah receives a call from a burp,
We want the child.
Michael decides to set her free from John by slapping her in the face with the sharp end of an axe. Just then, Kara arrives home, but the door's locked and no sign of her mom or Danny, so she has to enter through the back. She walks around looking for anyone, but manages to find Danny in his room, along with Tommy. He tries explaining the situation. Now, you might have forgotten about our final girl, but she's still here in the movie. Jamie is having a dream of some of her past experiences and run-ins before she is then shot in the damn head by the man in black. What? Our final girl from parts 4 and 5 is now dead. The role switching to Kara, who is currently learning about the curse and cult of Thorn, the evil that plagued Michael since his birth. I would explain it, but do you really care? Yeah, exactly. It's silly and dumb and not needed. In fact, in my opinion, it takes away from the scare factor. Long story short enough though, if Michael ends his entire family, he then will be free from his curse, passing it along to another kid. But like, the Strode family isn't related to him. Not by blood at least. They only adopted his sister, so like, why are they all targets? Here I am digging way too deep again. Night has arrived. While Mrs. Blankenship tells Danny about the boogeyman,
What's the boogeyman?
Tommy arrives to the Halloween bash waiting for Loomis while Barry kicks it off with Tim and Beth in attendance. This leaves Kara with Danny and John alone at the house. The power gets shut off, forcing John to enter the basement, where he finds the remains of his wife. Oh, and Michael Myers. He gets grabbed and shoved into the fuse box, ending him. At the Halloween bash, we see Barry Sims interviewing Beth and Tim, saying the wildest things.
I bet she wears crotchless panties and barks like a dog.
I know what kind of man you are.
Which apparently he also finds terrible, because afterwards he was so mad and upset he didn't realize he got into the wrong car. A car whose driver then stabs him. Before the interview had actually ended, however, he planned a meeting at Tim's house once he learned of the home's original occupants. So Tim and Beth arrive back to his place and begin touching tips as if they completely forgot that Barry was supposed to be on the way. Tim heads off to the shower so he can,
stay fresh.
And as he finishes, he asks Beth to hand him a towel. Man, Tim, when did you start dating Michael Myers? He gets grabbed and slashed, with Beth soon following, with Kara now being the creeper and watching. While she watches, Danny hears the voice again and heads across the street. Kara finally realizes and chases after to try and save the poor kid. She goes through one of the famous Final Girl circuits as she runs from Michael and discovers the bodies along the way. Team Loomis and Team Kara all meet back up with Michael still in the area. They find that the baby is missing, and the only other person that knew of the baby was, drumroll please, Dr. Wynn, because obviously, his henchmen along with Mrs. Blankenship round them all up. I'll give credit to Kara for trying to escape, but I'ma take it away because of how bad it gets me to chuckle. Loomis and Tommy awake to Kara being captured, so they run off to Smith's Grove. Tommy goes for Kara while Loomis confronts Wynn. Apparently, Smith's Grove is the cult of Thorn. In this timeline, Michael wasn't the monster, but a victim, a pawn used by the cult. In the goofiest scene, we see the ritual. Tommy watches as people from the town of Haddonfield and Michael Myers gather around Wynn reciting some speech. He orders Michael to kill the baby and to transfer the evil to Danny, but Kara tries to reason with him.
The baby is yours, isn't it? Isn't it, Michael?
Oh wow, I hope this isn't true and is her way of trying to get through to Michael. She claims that the baby of Jamie Lloyd is Michael Myers' kid. That's terrible. Disguised as a cult member, Tommy pops up and frees them by holding Wynn hostage. As they make a break for it, Michael is then sent after them. Loomis reunites with them as he rides the elevator down with them. Tommy stays behind doing some sort of ritual that actually works. He used some runes along with the word Samhain to stop him in his tracks. You remember that word? Giving enough time for Tommy to drive Kara and Danny to safety. Loomis staying behind to finally stop the evil. He heads upstairs and finds Michael has changed clothes with Wynn. Loomis looks to his arm, seeing the Cult of Thorn symbol. He screams as the movie ends with Michael walking away. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers isn't the worst in the series, but it's up there. I will admit there's moments from the theatrical cut that I enjoy better and some I enjoyed with the producer's cut. This version lacked more kills, but the ending here is better, which is saying something. It saddens me that the final movie featuring the amazing Donald Pleasance had to be such a stinker, and it has always left me wondering what could have been. In the previous two films, I kind of dogged on the looks of Michael Myers, but here, I don't really mind it for the most part. He looked his best in the three movies here. For me, anyhow. The movie opens up to the absolute banger that is Mr. Sandman. We see a car arrive home in the town we all know and love, Langdon, Illinois. Yeah, we aren't in Haddonfield, home of the one and only Michael Myers this time. Marion Crane walks inside her home, but not before she notices something's off. Believing someone to be inside her home, she, oh my god, actually heads to her neighbors for help? Someone actually made a smart and reasonable decision in a horror movie? This is groundbreaking. Robin from Dark Knight heads to Marion's to check it out with his handy-dandy hockey stick, but they also call the police just in case. The place is trashed, files everywhere, and a destroyed kitchen. Who would do such a thing? Wow, bro even stole her beer. Jimmy and his bud leave Marion's, believing her to be safe. She goes to have herself a check just to make sure bro was actually right. But seeing the back door open, she sprints to Jimmy's. But he's a little busy with the whole ice skate in his face. Michael emerges, attacking Marion. She screams for help, seeing the cops arriving to her home. But since she's at Jimmy's, no one is there to save her from Michael's knife. He drives off, having learned of his next destination. Speaking of his next destination, if you are enjoying this video so far, consider your next destination being that subscribe button and liking the video. And stay tuned as there's still many more movies to cover. We jump over to a woman screaming herself awake due to a nightmare. John Tate assures his mom, Carrie Tate, that everything is okay. Wait, Carrie Tate? That's Laurie Strode. She moved to California and changed her name due to the previous events she experienced and become the head mistress of Hillcrest Academy. She went from fighting her evil killer brother to fighting with her son John. Bro's just at that age, Laurie. You good. John wants to go to Yosemite with the rest of the school. And on a side note, John wants some separation and breathing room from his mom and allowed to live his life. But Laurie, having suffered plenty, isn't willing to allow it. And that's something that will persist throughout the movie. A mom and daughter stop off at a public bathroom, and as they enter, we see a car that I swear to God we've seen before. But where? The bathroom door shuts and a hand grabs the mom's purse. Michael is in the bathroom. But brother is on a damn mission. He just wanted their car. Back at the school, a lot is developing. Molly, John's girlfriend, and their friends Charlie and Sarah actively seek a way to stay back so they can party. Will, Laurie's boyfriend, plans to stay behind in order to watch over the kids staying behind. I only mention this as it does tell us that they are a thing, but mainly to point out that Norma is actually portrayed by Horror Hall of Fame Janet Leigh, Jamie Lee's own mother. Pretty neat. Unironically, one of my favorite characters in the movie tells his partner about, well, his erotic novel.
Leading to two tumultuous, round, melon breasts.
He gets interrupted by John and Charlie asking him to let them off campus so they can go into town for some gifts. Being the world's greatest security guard, he stands his ground for all of 10 seconds before he just lets them leave.
Just for lunch.
Alright.
Poor timing, as when John's in town, so is Laurie. She sees him, but goes easy on him.
What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Well, at least he's understanding.
I just need this one thing.
Mom, I am not responsible for you!
Okay. I do actually really enjoy this new relationship between these two characters. Laurie is struggling to let her son be free, and John is having a hard time understanding his mom's trauma. It's a nice dynamic that hasn't been done before. As Molly finishes up work, flowers along with a map arrive on a dumbwaiter. She follows the map and finds John, who set up decorations for their approaching Halloween bash. But before that, they have class. In a scene paying homage to the original, Molly has begun seeing Michael out of windows. The film acknowledges its 20-year gap many times, with this just being one of those. And another one of those times is the title, obviously. Feeling suspicious of the night ahead, she sends John to Yosemite, or so she thinks. Reading chapter 2 of his new book, probably titled 100 Shades of Grey.
And Lawrence looked at her with lust in his eyes and said, I want to invade every part of your being.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
Ronnie again gets interrupted as Michael uses his running car as a distraction, to make his way onto campus. I'm sure it's because he wanted to just brush up on his geometry and not because he wanted to end his sister. But if it's for geometry, why did he cut the phone line? As Lori leaves, she sees Michael approaching her. Oh no, it's just Will, who apparently has the exact same silhouette as Michael.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Afterwards, Will checks on Molly and Sarah and has a totally okay, not inappropriate at all conversation with them.
I'm having my nipples pierced.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting.
Two scenes begin playing out at the same time, but to save time, check this out. Lori admits to Will her real name and her real story. You know, how she lost her sister and her friends and all that. But luckily, Will's just a beacon of helpfulness.
Well, that's sucky.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
She sees a happy 17th birthday card for John, and remembering how she was 17 during the original attacks, she rushes to the ready, grabs a gun, and heads out. On the other side of campus, the Halloween bash has officially begun. They have the food, they have the music, they even have the vibes, but no alcohol. So Charlie rolls out to grab some, and after not being able to find a corkscrew, he heads upstairs using the dumbwaiter. After some time, he finds one, but somehow drops it into the sink. Be better than that, Charlie, my man. That's dangerous, sticking your hand down there. You could hurt yourself. Well, Michael and his what the piss CGI mask.
Wow, man. Damn.
Ends him and sends his body downstairs, where he is reunited with Sarah as she has to use the dumbwaiter to escape Michael.
It's free real estate.
But not before getting stabbed and also having the whole thing just crushing her leg. Unable to run, Michael is able to stab her repeatedly in the back, eliminating yet another friend. After some investigating, John and Molly find Sarah's body hanging up like a light. Very cool. I love me some practical effects at play. Michael, upset that they didn't enjoy his attempt at a Halloween decoration, chases them. But luckily, they're able to make it to a metal gate. Molly unlocks it, and they are forced to lean against the door as they drop the keys. Michael picks them up and opens the gate, but not before Lori and Will open the door. And honestly, one of my favorite and most memorable scenes of the entire franchise, we see Lori and Michael on either side of the door, seeing each other for the first time in the film. After discussing their next plan of action, Will sees Michael coming around the corner, so he grabs Lori's pistol and just starts lighting him up.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
But it wasn't Michael, it was Ronnie. Good job, Will. Now you have to live the rest of your life with that on your conscience. Way behind you! Okay, so maybe he won't have to live with it for long. Lori, John, and Molly make it to their car and drive off to the gate, ready to leave the school behind. But a determined Lori sends Molly and John to call the police while she stays behind, locking herself and Michael inside the gates. Now she's the one on a mission, wanting to overcome her trauma, and in this pain, she goes hunting. She's able to find him when he shows off his intense upper body strength. Like, dang, dude. But Lori makes it under a table and hides under it until he's able to find her. He chases her while she crawls, but eventually he just kind of gets aggravated and starts flipping all the tables. And after a little more wrestling around, Lori eventually gets the upper hand by stabbing him over and over until she sends him over the railing, crashing to the floor below. She approaches him and tries to Zombieland double tap him, but somehow a live Ronnie stops her. My boy made it. Oh my God! Yes! I can't wait till you drop 200 Shades of Grey, brother.
Hey, baby, I'm gonna write a romantic thriller. What? Yeah!
Not happy with how things are looking, Lori kidnaps Michael's body lying in the coroner's van. She was right. He rises from the bag. Lori, seeing this, she slams on the brakes and sends him flying through the windshield. She waits for him to get up before plowing into him. Michael lands on a tree, Lori in the bushes, and the van? On top of bro. It smashes into Michael, pinning him to the log. Lori approaches him, wielding her axe. She speaks to him, and he reaches out his hand to assist her. She stays in the moment before breaking the silence by slashing his head off, bringing the movie to a close with the sirens approaching. Lori, victorious. Halloween H2O will always hold a special place in my heart, as it's one of the entries I've seen the most. While I can acknowledge its flaws, I still enjoyed this one. Now, let's just get the bad out of the way. Michael looks okay here, but it's not great. The hair on the mask, the eye holes being too big, the CGI mask scene, and just the size difference. No offense to the actor, but he just kind of had a much smaller frame than what I envisioned Michael to have. A lot of the dialogue is fun, but some of it's just a little too much. A little too over the top. But let's move on to some of the highs for me. I love Laurie in this one. To me, I see this as a natural turn of events that could and probably would happen to someone that went through everything she went through. My boy Ronnie was almost too much, but he wasn't overused, so I can enjoy him as a nice little comedic relief. Because let's be honest, there's another rapper in this franchise that was overused. The relationship between Laurie and her son John was a nice take as well. The film opens up to a door belonging to Grace Anderson Sanitarium, a psychiatric hospital. A hospital housing the one and only Laurie Strode. The librarian from Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins informs us why she's there. Remember how Laurie defeated Michael in H2O? By, chopping his whole damn noggin off? Yeah, apparently that wasn't him, but an EMT, cause yeah. Afterwards, the nurses give us even more exposition as they give Laurie her meds. But wait, Laurie spits out the meds and stuffs them into her stuffed toy, knowing her brother is still out there, as she wants to be ready. She's pretty astute because yeah, bro just pulled up. Two guards see that Harold, a patient, looks to be out of his room, so they head off to him. But something's telling me that it's not Harold. The other guard investigates. He finds his co-worker's head in the washing machine. He stumbles back, tripping over his co-worker's body that for some reason he didn't even see prior, and lands right into the upper body strength machine and gets eliminated. I didn't mention this yet, but Harold is a big serial killer fan. He knows everything about everyone, including Michael as he sees him walking by, eventually making it to Laurie's room, but she was ready. She slips out and makes it to the roof. She traps him using a pulley system, leaving him hanging over the ledge as she approaches. She's got him now. Well, shit. Before she sent him falling, she wanted to be sure it was him. Yeah, Laurie, it was him.
Are you him?
Yes. Yes, I am.
She takes a stab to the gut and follows that up by kissing him? What? She falls to her death below. What a waste, movie. You just killed the most important final girl in your franchise in the first 15 minutes. At least he appreciates our boy Harold. And if you appreciate this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as I did have to force myself into rewatching this movie. And I do have the Rob Zombie films up next. We jump over to Haddonfield University to meet our new final girl, Sarah Moyer. Sarah and her friends Jen and Rudy won spots on a new and popular reality TV show. Yes, you heard that right. And yes, this is a Halloween movie. She informs her, pen pal, about her winning that spot to stay the night in the Myers house. The whole Decker thing is so weird and unneeded, but so is this movie, so yeah, whatever I guess. H2O saw success in having a rapper in its cast list, so they said, let's full send it in Resurrection. The showrunners are Tyra Banks and Busta fucking Rhymes. They could never replace you, LL Cool J. Oh, by the way, they picked Sarah because of her screams. And yes, it happens 20 times too many.
To do with upbringing.
Freddy, Busta Rhymes' character, gives everyone in the cast their camera headgear. Meanwhile, a dude named Charlie attempts to set up more cameras at Michael's house. And yes, I meant it by saying attempt because an upset Michael uses a camera tripod to slowly stab bro in the neck. Like, I guess Charlie just didn't want to try escaping, bro just sat there and took it.
Hold up, pause.
I mean, Freddy does say no one's allowed to leave until the show is over, so I guess Charlie was just following orders. The cast finally arrive to the home and everyone begins doing their own thing, most of which are just horny on the real.
You know, Donna, you got great legs. What time do they open?
Rudy mentions how he wants to check out the kitchen, and as he leaves, Sarah asks, "Where you going?"
But I'll bet it has one of those big, nice, old kitchens, you know?
Where are you going?
Probably the kitchen, Sarah, just a guess. We jump over to a Halloween party, one where Deckard was forced to go to by his buddy Scott. But he doesn't mess with that, so he sneaks off to watch Sarah's new show, when he is soon joined by a couple attempting to get their freak on.
You wanna watch? No way.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Sarah and Rudy hear Jen screaming. They rush up the stairs, joining Bill as they search for her. Eventually, they find her jump scaring them.
Gotcha! Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man!
Bill walks away looking into the bathroom mirror, declaring he will get revenge. But he's stopped just short as Michael busts out the one-way mirror and kills him. This movie makes zero sense. Why is that a one-way? It's been a minute, I'm sure you're craving for a Deckard update. He has a damn room full of people joining him as they watch this goofy show. You're welcome. Two groups have formed. We have the OG group, Sarah, Rudy, and Jen, and down in the basement we have Jim and Donna as they all discover clues for Deckard's enjoyment. This movie tries hard to add more layers to Michael Myers and his backstory by adding in different little items hidden around the home. And for me at least, it does not work. One of the reasons I've enjoyed the original so much is because of the pure evil, there being no real motive, Michael just killing to kill, and not because of his environment or because of a cult controlling him. Downstairs in the basement that, mind you, is extremely old and dirty, Jim and Donna be getting all romantical. However, they get interrupted by a collapsing wall revealing, oh my god, so many bodies made in Taiwan! Yeah, Freddy had a few props set up in order to scare the contestants. We jump over and watch Michael Myers walking through the halls, and behind him, oh my god, Michael Myers? They see each other, but while one is actually Myers, the other one is Freddy dressed up as Michael in order to scare everyone. I won't lie, the scene of him just absolutely grilling Michael Myers in his own getup, leading to Michael Myers just walking away in defeat, always gets a little chuckle out of me. I can't help it, it's silly.
I said, what you looking at me like that for? Huh? You don't get it? You don't get it? Your shit ain't working up there or something?
Jumping back over to the Gravediggers, Donna finds a hole in the wall that actually does reveal a hidden room that Michael has been living in. None too happy to have his chamber of secrets revealed, Michael chases her down a sewer tunnel until she comes face to face with man's natural enemy, a gate. Michael shoves her into a spike, causing Deckard's smart but dumb ass to think it's real.
That really just happened. She was just killed.
Well, it is though. But like, he shouldn't just jump to conclusions like that. It is a reality show after all. But like, he's right, so he's smart at the same time. I don't know, man, it's late, this movie's booty cheeks, let me just ignore that. Especially because holy guacamole, Sarah has just been grabbed by Michael. No, after Jim saves the day with a plank from Ed, and Eddie, we learn it was Freddy. Well, as in me and you, he has them turn off their cameras so Deckard and team doesn't notice. They grill Freddy over the setup, and while he's a douche nozzle for this, he's not necessarily wrong. America hates reality in their reality shows. But the real question is, why is this something I have to mention in a Halloween movie? It makes no sense, it's so goofy. I'm sorry. Sarah and Rudy quit while Jim and Jen decide to stay for the money. Well, that's at least until Jen loses her head in front of everyone, including America.
I'm talking to America here, excuse me.
Jim just accepts defeat following this, similar to Bro from the fourth movie. Like, run, dude. God, I hate it.
Jim, run!
You can't tell me nothing.
And then, if you can believe it, Rudy saves Sarah by having a knife off in the kitchen with Michael. But it's Myers who wins the Master Chef award. Sarah's pleas to Deckard gets everyone to realize the truth of the situation.
Somebody please help us. She really is a very talented actress.
He uses the cameras to warn her he's coming.
Wow, man. Damn.
She makes it onto the roof, and hold up, Deckard says he can't see her, so she has to Blair Witch that shit so he can hear her?
Deckard, where is he?
Come on, dog, what am I watching? Sarah gets grabbed by Freddy, yet manages to contain her scream. Crazy. Luckily, the movie only gets worse from here. Michael and Freddy face off. Freddy goes all Cobra Kai on his ass, sending him out the window. But they aren't safe yet. Deckard clutches up when he lets us know Michael's actually in the house. Oh, so right behind them. Bro didn't think to mention that? Bro wanted to keep it a surprise, I guess. He stabs Freddy a few times, seemingly ending him, and pursues his newly found final girl. She eventually escapes using a sewer grate in the garage because piss on logic at this point. She follows that up by using a chainsaw to scratch Myers.
She really is a very talented actress.
The chainsaw breaks, causing an explosion that sets the garage on fire. Michael is about to end Sarah, but oh wait, here comes Freddy.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
He, I kid you not, zaps Bro's balls, causing him to fall back into more wires. They escape the garage, Michael seemingly burning inside. We jump over to the coroner as she gets Michael's body. She approaches and unzips the bag, as Michael snaps his eyes open, bringing us to a close. That was Halloween Resurrection. If you couldn't tell, I don't care for this movie. The plot, if we can call it that, was non-existent. It's like a group of YouTubers being like, hey, you know what would be funny? And then proceed to make this. It's just all over the place with an unneeded cast of characters that don't add anything. It's not scary, and it ruins the characters that the franchise took so much time in creating and establishing. I can understand the random appeal some may have, but for me, the primary reason I'll even watch this movie is to joke around and laugh with friends. I was not a fan of many things. Sarah wasn't great, Freddy wasn't, Deckard was Deckard. I know it does seem like it, but I don't despise this movie. I just hate it. Nah, actually, it might be the worst in the franchise, but it doesn't actually pain me to watch it. But trust, I will be changing the channel. The movie opens up to a quote by Dr. Sam Loomis, which quickly cuts to a boy in a clown mask. Brothers got on that dollar store version of the clown mask from the original. Unlike the original, we see more of a family dynamic for the Myers family.
That's all you do is cringe.
Fuck you and sit on my pole right now.
Wow, what a happy family.
That's all that fucker does is cry.
God, I hate this family. Why is this needed? It's just another example of the movie going further than it needs to. We jump over to Michael at school as he gets bullied by a spy kid. Yeah, you heard me. We are at Michael's school. The movie shows us much more of Michael's family and his childhood, how he became disturbed and turned into evil. It's actually how we meet this movie's version of Loomis. Love the actor, but man, I do not care for his portrayal of Loomis. With that aside, he shows us how Michael has been offing animals lately. Loomis requests a treat and talk to Michael, and upon hearing this, he runs out and away from school. But he has a plan. He follows Junie into the woods and attacks them. Bro beats him down with a stick while wearing his clown mask. In a great but conflicting scene, Michael claims his first victim. It was shot very well, but it changed who Michael's first victim was, and I don't know how I feel about that. I know exactly how I feel about the next scene. Weird. We see Michael on the curb upset that Judith would rather have relations than take him trick-or-treating, while it also cuts back to his mom erotic dancing. Yeah, which for obvious reasons I cannot show. But what I can show is the mask Judith's boyfriend owns. It's the mask. A sleeping Ronnie gets woken up by a recently awoken Michael. He has become pure evil. Though Ronnie was a terrible guy, Judith's boyfriend? Not as terrible, but he meets a similar fate as he goes downstairs and gets Shohei Ohtani to the back of the dome. 2 down already, and he's still not done. He upgrades his mask and stabs his sister Judith, leaving the only one left in the house being his little sister Boo. There's aspects I like and don't like from this. I like the intensity, but I don't like the lack of homage. We didn't get to see the POV this time around.
He can't keep getting away with it!
But overall, it was spooky. What's not spooky is Dewey Riley with this PSA.
Hello, everybody. This is a message from Ty Sippin Ice and me, Dewey.
Please subscribe, like, etc., share with your friends, and enjoy all the incredible horror movie content. My friend Ty's channel. Thank you.
Smith's Grove, 11 months later. Dr. Loomis has become Michael's psychiatrist. Apparently, Michael doesn't remember what he did, a hint at the evil taking over. I won't lie to you, dude. We are 30 minutes in and still following Kid Michael. Did I turn on the wrong movie or something? Like, where is my Halloween Michael Myers? Anyways, he makes a black mask as that's his favorite color.
Not that it really matters, but
Black isn't a color.
Okay, dog. He wears it to hide his face. The next few minutes shows us the decline in Michael's mental state. I know he's a serial killer, but it's almost kind of sad watching him decay. It gets so bad that he stops talking altogether. Well, maybe I don't need to feel bad for him, as bro just ends the nurse with a fork. Who I will feel bad for, though, is Deborah Myers, his mom. Broken at the loss of her kids, she chooses to end herself. Hard to watch. 15 years later, guard Ismail and his co-worker prepare Michael for his talk with Loomis. And good lord, has bro turned into a huge dude. Dude has been eating his spinach. Loomis informs him he's moving on from Michael. If I had to guess, it's because bro done became the Steve Jobs of books. Bro really took Michael's tragedy and said, you know what this needs? A published book.
Huh?
Come on, man. What happened to you, Loomis? A group of security officers join up in transferring Michael. But just by looking at the situation, you're gonna need more than that. Bro's an Avenger level threat. As one guard unlocks a door, Michael snaps his chains and puts the beating down on like 5 cops. Dude really pieced them up with ease, acting like he was a pro wrestler or something. Jeez. On the reals, this scene was badass, and it helps ease the notion that I had to wait 40 minutes for this to happen. Like, why would a Halloween movie take 40 minutes for Michael Myers to show up and get to work? Let's be real. Ismail, the guard from earlier, he stumbles upon the mess. It's not a pretty sight. Behind him is Michael Myers, who begins to start cuffing Michael, who was not a fan of that, and takes out the only guard who was good to him.
I was good to you, Mikey.
To this day, I believe that if he had just stepped aside, Michael would have let him live. Like, up until the cuffs, he didn't attack or anything. Me personally, oh, big man Mike, you need to get by? I'm sorry, let me get that door for you. Personally. A fellow doctor calls Loomis to inform us that Michael has escaped the hospital. And it only took him 45 minutes to do so. A trucker named
I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch.
goes to deuce out, but Michael also needs to take the Browns to the Super Bowl, so he bangs on that stall door. In a scene that I still love to this day, Michael barges in and slams Joe's hand and body against the stall wall repeatedly, where neither actors use a stunt double. That's dedication right there. Michael then ends Big Drug Grizzly in order to steal his mechanic's uniform. Michael now needs but one thing, that mask. But wait, we are now 50 minutes in. Ain't we supposed to have like a final girl or something named Lori Mother Truckin' Strode? Well, yes, and we finally meet her and her parents, Cynthia and Mason. The movie finally pays homage to the movie it's remaking by having Tommy Doyle show up and walk alongside Lori. I'm liking it. It's about time. You remember earlier how I mentioned that mask? Yeah, Michael went home and retrieved it from under the floorboards.
He's back!
Like the original, Lori drops off some paperwork at the Myers home, causing that spark of the obsession. Keeping up with the remake theme, we meet Lori's friends at the school, Linda and Jamie Lloyd? Oh no, that's Annie. She's just portrayed by Danielle Harris from parts 4 and 5. Hey, I love Danielle Harris. She's an underrated final girl, so I'm all for it. Michael has begun his stalking phase. The girls leave school and run into said stalker man. I made the joke that the movie was a remake without remaking the movie at all. And now that's all we're getting. How the times have changed. Annie's dad shows up to give her a ride, and holy crap, her dad is Charles Lee Ray, Brad Dourif. This movie really does have some heavy hitters. So no matter what my opinions are on this movie, I gotta give them credit for having such a stellar cast. As night rolls around, Linda and Bob break into the Myers home so they can get all romantical. Afterwards, Bob heads to get them some beer, but something tells me he won't be getting those beers. During this, like the original, Linda calls Lori. On his way back, he gets grabbed by Michael, he lifts him up off the ground and stabs him into the wall, pinning him there. So Michael uses the sheet to pretend to be Bob.
Hi, how are you?
He grabs her from behind and chokes her to death. This whole scene is great, I can't lie, but something about it still can't hold a candle to the original. Bob's death and Linda's were more dramatic and over the top here, but it's just missing that subtlety for me. I don't know. Over at the Strode house, we get to see a nice family dynamic for once. It's actually so refreshing to see.
Finally!
Annie arrives to pick up Lori so they can go babysit for the night. As they leave, Michael Myers arrives. In an actually very quick jump scare, the dad gets one from prime Mike Tyson. He barges in and takes out both of Lori's parents. Such a great scene that gets ruined by, well, just thinking too hard. Like, bro got decked in the teeth. You're actually sitting there trying to get me to believe that the dad didn't see 7'2", 250 pounds of pure muscle walking up. Right. I might be stupid, but I'm that stupid. I mean, no, I'm not that stupid. This Michael Myers must have watched a lot of horror movies, specifically Friday the 13th, because bro learned how to teleport. He's immediately at Lindsay's house after those events at the Strodes. He's watching the movie with Lindsay, but this Michael doesn't kill kids. Instead, he teleports away, probably to Tommy's because that's where Annie and Lindsay are heading. Let's catch up with Loomis for a second. Throughout the movie, he has been trying to find Michael, the evil in Haddonfield. But again, no offense to the actor, this Loomis ain't got nothing on Donald Pleasance's version. Annie and Lindsay arrive, but Annie soon leaves as she has a date with Paul. Does everyone in this movie just want to bump uglies, dude? Like, y'all ain't gotta smash all the time. Just hang out for a bit. Chucky, Sheriff Brackett, calls the Strode house because of what Loomis has been saying. But since no one answered, because, yeah, he decides, let's check it out, Loomis, my guy. So they head out. Meanwhile, Paul is doing the deed with Annie as he gets grabbed and finished off like a bag of chips. And Annie also gets attacked, but I can't really show much of it because like most of this movie, it features a topless scene. So yeah, it's a cool fight scene though, if that helps.
We do not care.
Don't know why she had to have her shirt off though. Well, let's just cut over to her dad. He tells us and Loomis that Laurie Strode is actually Baby Boo, Michael's sister.
What? Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! Whoa!
Fans of the franchise knew it would happen, but in the OG timeline, it happened in the sequel, so it is surprising to get that news this early on. Laurie takes Lindsay back home after their long night, and they find Paul as an ornament and Annie bloody on the ground. Lindsay begins to scream as Laurie checks on Annie. Like, bro, Lindsay, chill. Screaming like you seen a dead body or something. She runs off screaming for help as Laurie tries to call the police, but the man hiding behind that door is not too fond of that idea. Before he acts though, he admires his work on Paul, as I do as well. The practical effects are phenomenal. Meanwhile, Laurie manages to get a hold of the police, causing Loomis and Brackett to head that way. Michael begins his infamous chase after Laurie in the streets of Haddonfield. A lot is going down right now, right? Yeah, and it won't slow down anytime soon. Trust me though, I'm gonna do my best to make it as smooth as possible. The police arrive, one searches the home while the other tries to convince them to leave the bathroom. Just before she unlocks the door, Michael kills the cop. So much for no one being there, huh?
No, there's no one out here.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
At least the door's locked and he's in. He kidnaps Laurie and heads out. Team Loomis finally arrived to Lindsay's home where Brackett finds his daughter Annie on the verge of death, somehow alive. I was actually surprised the first time I watched this movie to see her somehow actually survive. It was a decent change from the original movie because like I said, Danielle Harris is great, so you will not see me complain. Loomis learns of Michael's locales by Tommy and Lindsay, so off he goes. Laurie awakes in the old Myers home with Linda's body laying in front of her. Michael approaches her, but unlike him, she doesn't know they are siblings. So she screams for mercy as he then drops the knife, falling to his knees and revealing the picture of the two of them from the start of the film. To help her understand, he then takes his mask off, revealing his face. She crawls towards him in order to grab the knife and stab him. Michael's pissed now. I mean, imagine that. Imagine your own sibling stabbing you. Crazy, man. How could she?
Huh?
Get this, as she's running from him, she falls in the one giant hole in the ground. She actually falls into the pool. Come on now. This allows Michael to catch up and close the gap. He circles her in what I believe to be him contemplating. He doesn't know if he should kill her or not. Before he can make his decision though, Loomis arrives. He shoots Michael 3 times until he falls. But wait, I thought he was shot like a lot more than that.
I shot him 6 times!
Oh god, it was. He grabs Laurie and holds her hostage. He drops Laurie and then attacks Loomis, but Laurie is smart, so she goes to hide. Me personally, I would try to get up out of that house. I know, I'd be cooked, but at least I'd try. She ends up getting found because she went for Loomis's gun. Can't say I blame her for trying. I literally said I would try. Remember in the original, the end saw Michael falling over that balcony to the ground below? Yeah, well, it happens here as well, but Laurie goes tumbling as well. She climbs onto the unconscious Michael and unloads the empty clip into Michael, or so we thought. He grabs her hand as she shoots him in the face. Her screams and the image of her and her brother bringing the film to an end. That was Rob Zombie's Halloween, released in 2007. It was as Rob Zombie as you'd imagine. The movie itself wasn't bad. I know for most, that child portion wasn't great, but I actually enjoyed it up until a certain part. It mainly was just too much, in multiple ways. Let me explain. His family dynamic was a little too over the top and sexualized. Didn't care for all of that. Another thing, that portion just in general was way too long. I enjoyed it, but I didn't need 45 minutes of it either. The brutality was amped up and over the top as well, which I enjoyed a lot of that, as I do personally see this version of Michael as one of the scariest iterations we have ever seen. I mean, look at bro, he's an absolute unit. He'd have me shaking in my boots, and that's me being 20 times 5 with y'all. But overall, it's not the worst, but it's certainly not the best. The movie opens up by giving us an excerpt from The Subconscious Psychosis of Dreams, where it describes a white horse. Like, that's so random. Why a white horse? There's no white horses in this franchise. So why on earth are we mentioning one? Deborah Myers arrives at the sanitarium to see her son. Oh my god, are we getting another 40-minute sequence of Kid Michael?
I said I played these games before!
Wait, hold up. This ain't dude from the last one? I guess bro done aged out of the role. I know, I'm rambling. We're just off to such a great start. Their whole conversation boils down to a dream Michael had. His mom was dressed in all white on a white horse. Weird.
Whenever you look at the horse, you can think of mommy, okay?
No. Wait.
Afterwards, the title sequence brings us back to present day, where we see Lori battered and bruised walking down the street. Sheriff Chucky pulls up to try and help. He does so by jump cutting us to the hospital, just as the original Halloween 2 brought Lori to the hospital. So unlike last time, we are getting some of that remake vibe very early on. While I have been making it obvious this movie isn't my favorite, Lori's actress, Scout Taylor Compton, put up an amazing performance. Her screams of pain and horror really made me feel for her. Really well done. But don't worry, Lori, you won't die from that run-in with Michael, and neither will Loomis. Over at the Myers house, more zombie mainstays load up Michael into a coroner's van. Speaking of zombie, the workers are driving down the road spewing that nasty zombie dialogue.
Get a look at the naked chick.
But their nasty talk is ended shortly after they run down a cow, allowing Michael to escape because, of course, the guy that got shot in the face is alive. Before heading off, though, Michael makes sure to end the one remaining worker. By what the piss, taking his whole dome off? He drops bro upon seeing his mom dressed in all white with a white horse. Here we go. Jumping back to Lori, we check on Annie and meet Nurse Octavia Spencer. Let's go. Nurse Daniel leaves Lori and comes back with a bloody nose. Wait, Michael's already here? Is bro using his teleporting powers again or something? Maybe he rode on his mom's horse. Just a majestic shot of Michael on a galloping horse. Wow. He quickly ends Nurse Daniels in one of the most infamous shots I remember as a kid. Bro, Michael is a mean mamma jamma in this one. He's already took out 2 nurses in a more brutal manner than he needed to in the span of just 5 minutes. Similar to the OG one, he chases Lori around the hospital inside and out. Michael's sick of the game, he grabs himself a fire axe.
Give me that.
Like an actual axe. Not saying it looks cool, but one like, oh, okay, you know what I meant. Lori eventually hides in one of those security shacks where guard Buddy walks in on her hiding. He leaves to try and help her, but something's telling me he won't be much of help. Goodbye, buddy. Again, I dug this movie, but man, damn, Michael, a scary dude in this.
It's about damn time. It's about damn time.
He starts taking down the whole shack like he's trying to uproot the foundation.
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared.
Until he finally kills Lori. Wait, all of that was a stupid ass nightmare? Never mind, flush the whole thing, mind wipe me. Wait. Before you mind wipe me, I got just one ask. If you find yourself enjoying the video so far, then please consider listening to a certain sheriff.
Hello, everybody. This is a message from Sippin Ice and me, Dewey.
Please subscribe, like, etc. Share with your friends, and enjoy all the incredible horror movie content. My friend Ty's channel. Thank you.
It's now October the 29th. After losing her parents the year prior, she now lives with her friend Annie and her dad, Sheriff Brackett. Yeah, Annie is still alive in the sequel. Barb from Black Christmas is now Laurie's therapist, in a scene that I actually really like. While it's short-lived, we see Laurie's trauma and what the loss has done to her. It's a great layer to add to someone who understandably would be struggling. Someone that didn't get that same effect is her boy Dr. Loomis. Bro has become a full-on doucher, having some fame go to his head. They ruined my boy, Loomis! Bro was doing whole seminars and whatnot, but he at least gets called out.
Do you feel personally responsible for the deaths of as many as 15 victims?
A man dressed in a hoodie approaches a lady dressed in all white. Wait, oh my god, this is Michael. He and his younger self talk to his deceased mother. What is going on, dude? This movie really likes to try and slowly draw me in with an actual good scene or two, and then it just shoves me back by having all this random bull snot that has no place in the series. Speaking of no place, it low-key seems like with every kill, he grunts louder and louder, and I don't really mess with that. I mean, a light grunt, sure, but bro's basically yelling with his gut. During a dinner scene with the Bracketts and Laurie, that first shows off how good of a dude Brackett seems to be. But in between them eating pizza, we see Michael eating, I'ma just say, an animal. In a blink and a you'll wish you missed it, Michael is seen taking a little nappy wappy where he dreams of his mother in all black. Michael dreams of being a family again, further ruining his original motive. No motive, just evil incarnate. Well, maybe Loomis is evil incarnate. He plans to shoot at the old Myers home to promote his career, and when his publicist, or whatever her title is, mentions how gross it obviously is, bro just then berates her. Hey Loomis, hey bud, let's just calm down, okay? No? You're still gonna do it? You're gonna dog on my guy Brackett during this now too? Okay.
How you can lose a body, transporting it from A to B. You better ask the sheriff's department that one. Shut your fucking mouth! Shut it!
Next, we get a scene that just seems like filler to me. Michael shows up to a certain establishment and wipes out the people there. I mean, there's some brutal eliminations, but the whole scene just seems pointless. It seems to me that they just filmed the entire movie and was like, oh no, we need 10 more minutes. Bet, let's just add a scene of Michael taking out 3 more people. The only thing of significance really is a lady ripping a piece of his mask off. And yeah, it being at that establishment, it just means I can't actually show it. Just trust that it happened. At his book signing, Loomis gloats in his newly found popularity. That is, until Linda's dad shows up to berate him for his book and participation in the previous film. Get him, dude. Afterwards, his co-worker lets him know the truth that his book has on those involved, as we see Laurie has now also read that same book. She now knows her past. She breaks down and speeds off to her other friend's place while Brackett attempts to go and look for her. But before doing so, he sends an officer to his house to watch over Annie. At least she's safe. Sadly catching up with Loomis, he shows up to a late night show. But at least Chris Hardwick and Weird Al Yankovic is there to ease my suffering. Like, is it bad that I hate seeing Loomis on screen? Probably not. While I do hate this version of Loomis, he still acted really well by Malcolm McDowell. So that is one thing this movie has going for it.
It's about damn time.
The acting is well done by most of the major cast. It is now Halloween night and Michael and his hoodie has arrived to town. Meanwhile, Laurie and her new friends head out to a massive Halloween party.
Yeah, I got a van. It's got some drinks in there. They're roofie free, I swear.
Okay, because that needed to be said. Hey, Laurie's friend that I don't know the name of, run, okay? Bro's a creep. Well, I guess it's something she doesn't have to worry about at all because Michael Dunn took out both Wolf Creep and her. As the party rages on, Loomis freaks out watching his TV show appearance, which all I can think is, that's what you get, dude.
Oh, this is delicious!
Bro has been the biggest doucher on the block for a minute, and now he's getting a taste of it himself. Great. Not only is Michael seeing ghosts and horses, now so is Laurie. Am I gonna start seeing a white horse now too? Like, come on, what the piss? Over at Annie's, the ghost and Kid Michael are there now too, as Big Michael attacks Annie. Yeah, that's right. Annie is now gone, or, well, just kinda going. She at least survived much longer than OG Annie. Lori and her remaining friend arrive back to actually discover the mess that happened. Her demise is actually intertwined with them discovering the scene, and I actually really like that. It's different and pretty unique, I can't lie. Maya runs to call the police, but in the process, she gets grabbed by Michael and taken out. So other than Sheriff Brackett speeding over, this leaves Lori and Michael as the last ones on the property alive. They run off into the woods as the sheriff finds his recently deceased daughter. Actually a really sad moment that is aided by Brad Dourif's performance.
God, please. Oh, God.
So yeah, I mentioned Lori running off into the woods, right? Well, it doesn't last long. She finds a stranger driving down the road who attempts to aid her. And so, well, bro just flips the whole damn car over. I made the joke a few times, but maybe bro really is an Avengers level threat. He got that super soldier serum stuff. So he grabs Lori and heads off with their mom and, well, himself.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
Michael locks themselves up in a shack in some open field, where he was spotted doing so. So at least the police are on their way. So we know Michael was seeing his mom and all that jazz, right? Well, and I hope you're sitting down. Apparently now, Lori also sees them and is being held down by Kid Michael. Yep. Like how though? Is this some Paranormal Ghost Dimension spin-off, dog? Fuck! What is this goofy wannabe different chunk of dookie movie doing? I'm sorry, let me calm down. I just get heated when one of my favorite franchises just tries to smack me in the mouth. Well, the police has bro surrounded and on live TV where Loomis learns that, yeah, bro is still alive. So he teleports to the scene of the crime. At least Brackett gets a lick in for us and tells bro what we've all been thinking.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Loomis then heads in to try and talk to Michael.
But Daddy, wait, I can fix him!
But yeah, that doesn't work out because obviously, Michael ends his former doctor. But Brackett ain't having none of that and pops Brody twice with a sniper.
She got your ass.
Lori says she loves him.
I love you, brother.
Huh?
And then stabs him repeatedly with his knife. It might just be me, but I think she lied.
I love you, brother.
So you're a liar.
She walks outside to the site of the entire police force and she's, wearing his mask. I'm sure there's some hidden meaning to it, like it shows the familial ties and perhaps some evil living in her. I just can't be asked, man. The movie ends with Lori now in the sanitarium. She smiles as her mom and that damn horse approaches, signifying the evil now living inside her. Well, that was Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie. If you couldn't tell, I do not like this movie. But I would be lying if I said it didn't have its moments. Some of the actors, particularly Compton and Dourif, really elevated their roles. The kills themselves were also a nice standout. Michael held nothing back this go around in one of his most intense outings to date. But that's where my praises end. Why in the piss stain was there 40 scenes of this freaking white horse? I don't need to see his ghost mom nor Kid Michael either. The film started hella promising too. The whole hospital sequence was the best scene of the film, and it showed the best version of Michael in the film as well, but it is what it is. Like many in the long-running series, we open up to the infamous Smith's Grove Sanitarium, but unlike the past, this is the future. And something the present now features is podcast. Some podcasters show up because everyone has to start a freaking podcast now. There's a new one every 15 minutes. Speaking of that, tune into my new podcast, Sippin Cast. I'll shut up now. The duo plan to speak with Michael, or, well, try. There's a huge emphasis on Michael trying to speak this movie. Everyone just wants to see bro talk. Dr. Sartain leads them to the big man himself. Oh yeah, Dr. Sartain is this film's Dr. Loomis, as sadly Donald Pleasance has passed years prior. I fear I may be getting ahead of myself. Why are they at the sanitarium? Why is Michael still there at the ripe age of 61? Well, this entry actually takes place 40 years after the events of the first film. It ignores every entry besides the very first one, the original. So in this timeline, Michael was captured and has been there ever since. No Curse of Thorns ever happened to him. He never had a younger niece that he had to go after. Nothing like that. Back to the hipster millennials. They start berating bro. They try instigating this man with his own mask. Wild. But bro wasn't even fazed. Not even as they yell at him to speak.
Say something.
Dude was stone cold. The podcaster screams takes us to the title card. And dude, I can't lie that seeing this opening pay homage to the originals while adding its own unique flair is a sign of things to come. Jumping to the woods, the podcasters, Aaron and Dana, arrive to the home of Laurie Strode. She almost turns them away, but a crisp 3 racks sounded a little nice. I don't blame you. During the interview, we get a lay of the land. Laurie has become a doomsday prepper with traps and locks littering her property, already showing how much of a certified badass she is going to be during the next hour and a half. I actually love her portrayal here. I cannot say the same about the millennials. They had the audacity to talk about my girl's family issues to her face like that.
They said you're an unfit mother.
Nah, dude.
How long until you regain custody? I didn't. But you already knew that.
Take your cheeks off her couch and dip on out. Sorry, I got a little heated, but as we do in Halloween movies, we jump over to meet our main family. Allison and her parents, Karen and Ray, are a bright spot of this film for me. They have a real chemistry and mesh well together. Gone are the days of weird dialogue and awful family dynamics.
I got peanut butter on my penis.
Ew, Dad.
Okay, well, there's still a solid family. Minus Allison's grandmother, Lori, who was pushed away by Karen, who even decided to not invite her to dinner. Allison walks to school with her friend Vicky and her boyfriend Dave. They talk Lori's past with her brother.
That's just a bit that some people made up to make him feel better, I think.
What? Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! Whoa!
One thing that I love about this movie, among many other things, is how this film mirrors the original. It pays homage, yeah, but it also takes it a step further. For instance, in a scene where Allison is at school, the infamous shot is recreated. But instead of seeing Michael, she sees Laurie. Beautiful, I love it. To me, it shows that Michael and Laurie might not be related, but are one and the same and will be forever intertwined. Speaking of being intertwined, fun fact, Halloween is a canon franchise in the world of Scream. You know, the movie with a certain cop.
Hello, everybody. This is a message from Ty Sippin Ice and me, Dewey.
Please subscribe, like, etc. Share with your friends, and enjoy all the incredible horror movie content. My friend Ty's channel.
Thank you.
Intertwined with Michael and his fellow patients being transferred is Dr. Loomis's voice, as he believes Michael should be terminated. Evil needs to die. Boy, I bet that'll be the only time we hear that line in this trilogy. Meanwhile, Laurie waits anxiously in her truck, waiting to see this transfer through, hopefully ensuring he stays in custody. Hopefully. On a late night drive, a father and son come up on a bus crash, people wandering on the street. The dad gets out to check out the scene, and oh my god, it's Michael's bus. Bro is free, as the father and son soon learn as Michael takes out both. Yeah, you heard me. Dude took out a kid. Wild. But hey, the kid got his lick in by shooting the doctor.
Don't shoot!
Afterwards, we jump over to a cop playing some Back to the Future pinball game. We are introduced to Officer Frank Hawkins in the most Marvel Studios way they possibly could in a Halloween film. Which is weird because it was one of those like reintroductions to a character we haven't seen in a long time. But if I recall correctly, dude wasn't even in the original. I will end up liking this character throughout this trilogy, but dude didn't need all that for his debut. Officer Hawkins gets the call about the crash and heads to check it out. He finds that Dr. Sartain is still alive and Michael has escaped. Catching up with the Dollar Store podcasters as they recap Michael's first victim, his sister Judith. Unbeknownst to them and the Gravekeeper, an old monster is back in his favorite town watching them. Now, I don't care for these podcasters, as you might have caught on. What I do like is them trying to take us into the original and reminding us how brutal that night was. Later at a gas station auto shop combo thing, Aaron fills up the car while Dana goes to fill up the toilet bowl. Hey, if the movie could say it, so can I.
You need to go to number 2 almost immediately.
As she uses the loo, someone enters, checking every stall.
What the fuck is in that toilet? Oh my god.
As this is happening, Aaron goes to pay, but realizes the mechanic fell asleep with his clothes off. He's dead. He's a goner. Michael took bro out. But back over to Dana, Michael drops a handful of teeth and starts trying to get her. But don't worry, Dana fans, Aaron's here to save the day. Oh man, oh wow, that's not good. He finishes off the podcasters and becomes the Shape once again. That shot of him donning the mask after 40 years was something special, and every time I see it, I get hyped. After learning of Michael's escape, Laurie tests her family's survival skills, and well, they don't pass her test. As night approaches, so too does one of my favorite scenes of the entire trilogy. Mimicking the original, Michael runs into two kids on Halloween night in Haddonfield. Here, we follow him in a scene with absolutely zero cuts. He makes his way through countless yards and homes and takes out more people along his way. But at least during this one take, we learn that Michael does have a limit. Babies are safe, but apparently not kids. As gender swap Bonnie and Clyde dance it out at the dance, Vicky is at the big man Julian's house. She's babysitting probably the funniest kid in the entire franchise right now.
I wouldn't be up clipping my nasty ass toenails.
Go to bed.
As she puts him to bed, something seems off. But back to Allison. She heads back into the dance to see Cameron smooching up on Tony the Tiger. In his defense, he also threw her phone into a bowl of cheese. Yeah, bro's a doucher.
You gonna get that?
What you say? What you say it again? Say it again!
Back over at Julian's, Dave shows up to swap spit before Julian sees the boogeyman. Vicky, not believing him, goes to check it out and, well, you should have believed him. As she gets eliminated and sent to the gulag, the Dave train rushes in to stop this madness. But before we get to see him go to work, we cut over to Officer Frank and Laurie as they arrive to Julian's home. Under a blanket, in homage to Bob in the OG, Frank finds Vicky's body. Soon after, he finds Dave in yet another homage to Bob as he was pinned to the wall, up and off the ground. Man, Bob's getting some love here. Eventually, the cavalry arrives with Dr. Sartain, where Laurie says what we all have been thinking. Bro's the new Loomis. As Sartain geeks out over seeing Laurie, we jump over to Oscar spinning game to Allison, landing absolutely 0 wins. It's starting to get wild, but just stick with me. There's many things happening at once. Allison's family, along with 2 cops, head to Laurie's in order to try and stay safe. Emphasis on try.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
Allison, on the other hand, leaves behind a, horny Oscar.
What are you doing?
You deserve better, right?
Oh my
What the fuck?
At least Michael hears him out before trying to slice him up. Oscar tries to hop the fence, but his costume prevents him from doing so. His screams alert Allison, which brings her over, and an absolute heater of a soundtrack kicks on as she finds Oscar's body next to Michael Myers. For copyright purposes, I can't really play it, but I got you. This is how it sounded. Okay. Officer Frank Hawkins and Sartain retrieve Allison and prepare to head over to Laurie's. There's been an overarching story beginning to be made, but I'll go over that more in the sequel. But what I will talk about is how Team Hawkins finds Michael and runs him down with the car.
Hey, bro, watch your jet. Watch your jet, bro. Watch your jet!
But before he can finish the job, Sartain stabs him with a penknife, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but he puts on Michael's mask and looks at Allison. It's so goofy and gets me to laugh at a scene that I'm not supposed to. Like, I get what you was going for, but brother, it did not land. Sartain wants to watch evil unfold. He wants to see Michael's reunion with Laurie, so they head off with Michael Myers as their new passenger. Earlier, Sartain made me laugh in a scene that I wasn't supposed to, but the 2 cops guarding the Strode house also made me laugh. Great chemistry from 2 non-actors. You love to see it.
Chocolatey homemade brownie. I made that myself.
That's like what a 5-year-old would eat if they could make their own lunch.
Feeding Sartain's passion, he stops the car while Allison claims to have heard Michael speak. But that only allows Michael a chance to wake up and smash his way out and smash Sartain's head. Out goes the doc. Allison smartly takes this chance to take off running. And you could also make a smart decision by hitting that like button if you're enjoying the video, and commenting down below your favorite character, as it does mean the world to me and it boosts the algorithm. But someone that wasn't very smart was Ray. He sees something is wrong with the cops stationed outside and decides, hey, let me go outside and check it out. It obviously was a trap successfully carried out by the Shape. Laurie realizes Michael's there, so she barricades the door and has Karen go below deck. As Laurie leans against the door in a crazy set of events, Michael breaks through the glass and almost takes her out. But not before a well-timed shot turns Michael into a lefty. That doesn't stop him from entering the house. It's now time for the showdown. In the blue corner, standing at 5'7", Laurie. In the red corner, standing at 65 years old, Michael. All jokes aside, the sequence of events where Laurie goes hunting for Michael is wonderful. She inspects the room, and once it's declared to be clear, she locks it up. She came ready to play. Out from behind a mannequin, Michael bursts out, lunging at Laurie. To the amazing soundtrack, they scuffle, both taking and giving blows, until Michael gets his get back from the original and throws her over the balcony and onto the ground below. Allison arrives, distracting Michael long enough for Laurie to pay her own homage to the original. He looks down below to see Laurie's missing. What? Karen opens up the kitchen island to let Allison into the Batcave and manages to shut it as Michael searches for them. The back and forth cat and mouse is a really nice touch added on for this movie. One moment, Michael is being hunted, and the next, he's back to being the predator. Being the predator that he is, he finds them and rips off the kitchen island. But Michael doesn't show himself. But Karen, in an Oscar-worthy performance, convinces him and me on the first watch that she can't do it. She can't take the shot.
I can't do it!
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now! Stop the cap! No bullshit, bro.
So he pops out only to get shot in the neck. Laurie then jumps out, knocking him down into the hole with Allison and Karen. But before they could escape, Michael grabs Karen. It's not looking too good.
No. Wait.
But proving she's in the same family as Laurie, Mother Truckin' Strode, Allison grabs the butcher knife and stabs away at Michael until he lets her mom go. Here is where we learn the twist of the house. That basement wasn't their solitude, but Michael's trap. They lock him down there. Michael staring back.
It's a trap.
Just before leaving, Laurie lets in some gas and lights the place on fire. We watch as the home goes up in flames and Michael never buckling. He stands there as the fire rages on. Outside, Allison flags down a truck that takes them to safety. But before that, we see Michael isn't there anymore. Where is he? The movie ends on the knife in Allison's hands. That was Halloween 2018. I can't help but love this movie. It might be a 40-year sequel, but it really feels true to what Halloween is. The homage it paid to the characters, it was just a good time. Now, don't think I think this is a masterpiece or anything, but it's damn good. One of my favorite sequels, and spoiler, the best of the new trilogy. Michael might have been 97 in this one, but he was still an overpowering monster. Halloween Kills had one mission: escalate everything. The kills, more brutal. The scale, bigger. The town, angry. And while it definitely delivers on the violence, a lot of people, myself included, were left wondering if the story got left behind. Fans wanted more kills, more chaos, more of that classic Halloween feel. And to be fair, in a way, that's exactly what they got. But what they didn't get? A very good story. Cameron from the previous movie walks along the street, where he comes upon a down bad Officer Frank Hawkins.
Dude, you okay?
I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
Bro was actively bleeding a gallon a second from the nectoral region and genuinely says, "I'm gonna be the one that gets him," in reference to killing Michael. Like, bro, I could be wrong, but you have more issues you currently need to worry about right now.
And I'm the one that's gonna get him.
We then cut to Haddonfield, 1978. That's right, the night it all began. A young Hawkins and others are chasing Michael Myers down. As this is going down, Lonnie is running down the street because he was told about some dude killing in a white mask. Oh shit. I think that's him, Lonnie. But he didn't want Lonnie. He wanted alone time at his old crib. Can you blame him? And when Hawkins and Co show up, he gets just a tiny bit upset. I swear though, Frank is a terrible shot. He missed like every one. Well, besides the one that hit his teammate. This whole scene was basically to show how 1, Michael was originally caught and arrested, and 2, that Hawkins still harbors a deep trauma about that night. Very cool. I really enjoyed the intro for what it's worth. It sets the stage for Hawkins to seemingly take more of a central role. And well, yeah, that's not exactly what happens. Instead, it'll mainly follow along one line he said. The one where he said he needs to do it. For the next hour, everyone and their moms thinks they need to be the one to end Michael. I'll dive more into it when it happens, but I'm not a fan of it. And it kinda hurts the film for me. Fast forward to the present, and Michael's about to make his most brutal comeback yet. The couple we've seen for a brief moment in 2018 now has a prominent role. I really enjoy these moments of cohesion where like the entries are all linked in more ways than just Laurie and Michael. It's very neat to see. Also at the bar with them is some classics. Tommy, Lindsay, Marion Chambers, and Lonnie.
It's Halloween night in Haddonfield, when terror is supposed to be fun.
Two of which are actually portrayed by the original stars, Kyle Richards and Nancy Stevens. You love to see it. Quick question for you. What's your favorite legacy character in the Halloween series? Drop it in the comments, I love reading your takes. But enough of this, let's check in with Michael. How does bro escape? Well, some firefighters are, well, fighting the fire, and Michael quite literally has a helping hand out. And while I don't love this movie, I kinda love this next scene. Brother, this scene is just kinda pure chaos, with an amazing score backing it up.
Finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about.
Michael just wipes out the entire squad of firefighters one by one. But like, in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, gang up on him. Don't go one at a time. But hey, it's a movie. Jumping over to the hospital where we will now spend a decent chunk of the movie at, they offload Laurie so she could basically be absent for the rest of the film for the most part. I'm iffy on that, but it is what it is. I like focusing on her family as well, so I'm not upset. While they're there, Michael is just kind of on a rampage throughout the town. All of which is super cool and, you know, over the top. There's just no other reason than to up the body count. So I like it, but at the same time, it does take away from the story. Catching back up to the team at the bar, a news report updates them on the events so far, causing panic and the start of the movie's main talking point, the mob mentality. Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight.
The idea of Haddonfield rising up to face evil? That's interesting. The movie tries to show how fear spreads, how vengeance turns into chaos, and it wants to say something about trauma on a larger scale. But it doesn't work here with just how much it's said. Now, don't get me wrong, we've only heard it once, but by the end of the film, you'll wish they said it just a little less. I truly believe in the saying, show, don't tell. And this movie is a prime example of the opposite. Like, we get it. Evil dies tonight. You're a mob going after what you perceive to be evil. Show us the mentality instead of telling us every 5 minutes, dude. We get it. Speaking on the mob, another thing is how much of a front seat they take. I've already spoken about how Laurie kind of gets sidelined and benched. So it's almost like the mob is meant to be one large collective of people trying to be the protagonist. I'm okay with Allison taking the center stage, but why should the whole town? It just kind of scrambles up the whole story. Like, the town is important to the world of Haddonfield, no doubt, but having them be the center for half the movie, at least for me, only adds unneeded clutter. Tommy creates some groups. For instance, Marion, Lindsay, Marcus, and Vanessa are a team. And so is Lonnie, Cameron, and now Allison, all with the same goal, to find Michael. Because say it with me, evil dies tonight. Yeah, I had to, sorry. Later, Team Lindsay finds kids swinging at a park and an agile Michael as he climbs on top of the car. Marion, all too familiar with this move, tries her best to shoot him, but she misses. Luckily, she gets him lined up and oh no, she's out of ammo. Michael takes out the legendary nurse and the newly acquired nurse.
This is for Dr. Loomis.
Shit. Got your ass.
But never fear, here comes Vanessa to save the day. Okay, wow. Well, alright. With Lindsay's team all but wiped out, she manages to run off and hide. And I cannot blame her. Matter of fact, you wouldn't even catch me out there, dude. I would be in the next town over hiding in like some doomsday shelter. You would not catch me near, bro. Team Allison finds Tommy and the remains of Team Lindsay. They head off into the park and find Michael has decorated once again. This time with Vanessa, Marcus, and Marion. His whole shtick of doing this has been something that I'm glad to have stuck around this long. It really helps to paint the image of how evil he actually is. Also, like, imagine the scene of him just stopping and taking 15 minutes to do this. What's that I hear you ask? Where's the mob? Well, over at the hospital, things haven't been going so well. Tommy enrages everyone and starts to chant,
Evil dies tonight!
"Evil dies tonight!
Evil dies tonight! All right.
Evil dies tonight!"
Evil dies tonight!
I get it, I do.
Evil dies tonight!
But man, I get it. Evil dies tonight. At least Laurie doesn't assume she's his primary target anymore.
Maybe the only way he can die is if I die too.
Well, never mind. Matter of fact, since I'm ranting, let me rant some more. Big John and Little John deserve more screen time. They were goated, but it is what it is. Let me get off these tangents and back to the carnage. The Johns see a bloody handprint and realize someone is in their house. They grab some knives and head off to investigate. They go by clearing room after room and
John, study's clear.
so Big John gets a surprise stabbing in the armpit and a what the piss his eyes pushed in. Little John finds Michael and utters one last line before rejoining Big John. "Michael, you've come home. I miss the Johns." Meanwhile, the mob is growing impatient and upon seeing an escaped patient, assume it to be Michael. So they charge after the poor man while chanting, "You guessed it, evil dies tonight." It's honestly just pure mayhem up in that piece. You got doctors and nurses shoving people to the ground now, all so they can hunt down who they presume to be evil. Even after the police actually informs them that, hey bro, that ain't him, you still have Tommy and his wound up army chasing after him, wanting nothing more than to kill that dude.
Stop! It's not him! Get out of my way!
You can't tell me nothing.
Karen finds the man and tries to help him by locking him in a hallway away from the mob. But as they find him, they begin smashing their way in. The man, after being pursued and hearing the chance of wanting him dead, climbs outside a window and jumps. It's genuinely upsetting. The mob causes an innocent man's death because no one just stops to think. That's the point the movie tries to make, and in that moment, it does actually land. It just could have been done with a little bit more finesse. I know it might seem like it, but I don't hate this message. Some of the execution just didn't land for me. More on that later. Team Allison arrives to the Myers home where Lonnie just walks in alone because that's smart. Speaking of arriving, we have arrived to one of my favorite scenes in the film. Inevitably, they hear shots, so Allison and Cameron charge in, but they don't manage much better. It's eerie and calm until, well, it's not eerie and calm. After finding his dad, Cameron is ambushed by Michael. He gets stabbed a few times, but Allison gets some licks in herself before she then gets thrown down the stairs.
My back!
Michael proceeds to beat the absolute snot out of bro. He shoves Cameron's head through the stairs railings and Willow Smiths him around. But Allison grabs his attention, so he does leave Cameron alive.
Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Okay, yeah, no, that one was dirty, Big Mike. Cameron had a whole redemption arc going just for you to snap, crackle, and pop him. Afterwards, he's about to finish off Allison, who kind of wants it to happen. Oh no, she was talking to her mom Karen, who stabs Rob with the most random pitchfork.
Oh, my back!
Like, maybe I missed it, but where did she get a damn pitchfork? Did she stop by the local mob shop on her way? Anyway, she takes Michael to the ground and steals his mask, which he kind of wants, so he goes for it.
Give me that.
Only to be ambushed yet again. But this time, it's the town. Led by Tommy, they give bro the business. Dude takes shots to the chest and blows to the head. To top it off, Karen stabs bro deep in the back. Wow, they did it. They actually did it. Evil did die tonight. I guess if you say it enough, it'll happen. Nope, bro's not dead. And it's now his turn. He wants himself a round two. He manages to wipe out that whole group of people using his supernatural abilities.
Michael Myers he's not supernatural. He's not supernatural.
As this is going down, Karen heads upstairs in the Myers home to stand where Michael would. Why? I don't know, man. She saw Kid Michael or something. I thought it was stupid on my first watch, and I still think it is. As the credits prepare to roll, Michael kills Karen, ending another one of Laurie's loved ones. Well, that was Halloween Kills. And boy did he kill. Speaking on that real quick, Karen. On my first watch, I genuinely believed it was gonna be revealed to be like a dream or something, because I couldn't just believe that they would end a major character like that. She was simply used as a way to end the movie abruptly. But here we are, it was real. Before I rate it, let's discuss my likes and dislikes real quick. I really enjoyed the kills and the score. Michael was truly terrifying in this entry and really seemed unbeatable. I like the message of the mob, but wish it was handled slightly differently. I mainly just disliked how frequently they felt the need to remind us of their goal. Like, we get it. You don't have to hammer it in. It all comes down again to show, don't tell. In the end, I still like this one, but I still see that it's taken the trilogy on the decline. Halloween Ends might just be the most divisive film in the entire franchise. Some people call it bold, fresh, and even meaningful, while others say it's disrespectful, misleading, and the worst finale imaginable. So which is it? The movie opens up to a family welcoming in their babysitter, Corey Cunningham. He seems like such a good guy, one of those can't hurt a fly types. During the night, we are shown a few things. That this kid loves to play pranks, and that Corey loves chocolate milk. Like, it actually shows that multiple times. Speaking on that little pranking kid though, he knows what's up.
You suck at babysitting.
I'll kill you.
Maybe Corey does suck at babysitting. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, it showed it. Yeah, his parents watched it happen. Wild. After this little intro, we jump over to Lori as she narrates the events up to now. The original night, 2018, and kills. After that night, he vanished, disappearing for 4 years. We then see what Michael's presence caused to the town. From police wondering if he's back,
you think he's come back?
To trauma-ridden families escaping their realities in the worst way imaginable. These effects, this sort of plague instilled on the town, is one of the elements that the movie got right for me. I do think it was a good decision to show that, especially with Halloween Kills featuring the townspeople so much. The movie does do a good job at showing how fear and evil spread, that evil can be passed on, how trauma spreads and infects a town. This is well done, but stick with me until the end as I'll explain where and why that begins to fall apart because of this. Lori is moving different in this century.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Where 2018 and Kills portrayed her as an always ready, battle-trained veteran, End shows how she has managed to finally let go and try her best to move on. She's writing her own book on her experience and trying to live her life. On the opposite end of the situation is Allison. After having lost both of her parents, she has become rebellious and distant. Hopefully she meets someone who's good for her. Speaking of Corey, he pulls up to a gas station so he can get himself a glass of chocolate milk. His go-to, I guess. When all of a sudden, a group of band kids bully him for not buying them beer.
Buy us a couple of six-packs.
No.
No.
You sure about that?
There's a first for everything, I suppose. Lori saves him, and before they take off, they pop bro's tire. But since dude was wounded in the skirmish, they take him to the hospital Allison works at, where, I kid you not, she immediately falls for dude. Love at first sight type shit, I guess. But at least bro was able to spit some game.
I got a motorcycle.
Oh, a motorcycle. You have shit on your back.
Yeah, that's rough, Corey. Jumping over to the supermarket, we see Frank and Lori catching up with some deep hints of romance sparking. Hey, I love to see it. Lori has done had to face off against her brother and not brother countless times while losing her family and friends. She deserves this. She deserves to be happy, man. What she doesn't deserve, though, is what comes next. As she's leaving, all happy, a previous victim's sister blames her for what happened. Like, I get why you're upset, but Lori did not tell bro to go on that rampage. You're taking your frustrations out on the wrong person. Later, Allison convinces Corey to go to a Halloween party where he gets flashed by Michael Myers. Well, Nick Castle, the original actor for Michael Myers back in the original. You love to see it. During the party, Corey begins to open up and have fun. And as that's happening, people keep noticing him as the babysitter turned accidental killer. One of which is that said kid's mom, who then berates him for having a good time, telling him that she knows it wasn't an accident. I'll get into that later. But while I don't like Corey in this movie, I do like his character and see his situation as a hard one. He leaves Allison behind and he's all upset. And then he gets attacked by the band kids yet again. They actually toss bro over the side of a bridge. Actual psychos. But the thing that gets under my skin is that these are high school kids, bro. Corey ain't no scrawny dude by no means. Ain't no way he should be letting them do all that to him. Stand up for yourself, dude. Next thing you know, bro's in the hole. Michael's hole. Pause. That's right, it only took like 40 minutes for Michael to show up in his own franchise. Yes, sir. He finds bro like melting into the surroundings. But I guess Michael, seeing the evil inside of Corey, he lets him go? Cool, I guess. I'm just a little confused, as is Corey by the looks of it. The old man outside the hole then ends up becoming his first victim. Yeah, First, there's more. Probably too many more, truly. Corey has become evil, and Laurie notices it. She will spend the rest of the movie trying to convince Allison that she sees the evil in him, that he has the eyes of Michael Myers. But for us, the next chunk of the movie is dedicated to trying to make us believe that Corey and Allison are actually in love. That these few days, they just really meshed, I guess. With a few of those Corey breaking down sprinkles tossed in.
He said we're good.
Safe with this guy.
For instance, Allison's ex-cop boyfriend follows Corey to Michael's hole. Yes, I'll be referring to it as such for the remainder of the video. But anyway, he sneak attacks the cop and lures him inside the hole, where he and Michael tag team Hell in a Cell cage match his ass. Corey holds him down so Michael's non-supernatural self can rejuvenate by killing, bro.
Michael Myers he's not supernatural, he's just very resilient.
Afterwards, Corey just goes to Allison and claims he doesn't know what's happening to him.
I don't know what's happening to me.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
Bro, you're teaming up with the enemy. That's what's happening. Now that Michael has gained some of his mojo back, he's back to free roaming, stalking his prey. In a disgusting setup, Deb and her boss, Dr. Mathis, are in a secluded home as they prepare to bump uglies. Yes, officer, arrest that man there. Well, maybe not. It seems as though Corey in his scarecrow mask beat us to it. He then chases down Deb, but gets locked out. And then probably Michael's coolest scene in the movie happens. Corey just stands there as Michael charges her, lifting her against the wall, similar to how he did with Bob. Really nice. Corey and Allison decide, you know what, let's dip. But Laurie isn't wanting that to happen, so Corey says, bet that, and plans his attack. His first step, and yes, I know it's stupid, is to go to Michael and smack him around and take his mask. So he can fully take over the mantle. But goodness gracious, I hated that. Seeing Michael Myers just get slapped around like he's playing a game of front hand backhand by Corey Mother Truck and Cunningham was not what I wanted to see. It really weakens the movie for me. His next step involves luring the new age bullies to his scrapyard. He takes out Mullet and runs down one of the girls, but like just runs sideways? It makes no sense, but whatever. Corey gets held up at gunpoint by the leading bully, but mistakenly takes out his stepdad. Silly scene, but it was shot beautifully, so I'll be fair and give it that.
It's about damn time.
He takes out the remaining kids and heads home, where, to be fair, is a unique scene that pays homage to the original, when he takes out his own mom. Bro continues his rampage, which in turn makes him late to his meeting with Allison, which really was a part of his plan the entire time. We jump over to Laurie as she seems to be down in the dumps. She has her pistol and calls the police to report a self-infliction. From behind a door, we hear a gunshot go off. Corey comes out to see Laurie aiming at him. She blasts him down to the first floor. They hear Allison arrive home. Knowing he's about to be found out, he shanks his own throat to be able to pass the blame to Laurie, and it seemingly works. She storms out, leaving Laurie alone, but not really. Michael has arrived. He puts his mask back on and finishes off Corey, because somehow he was still alive. Meanwhile, Laurie is off preparing for her fight. Let's go, dude. We finally made it to Michael and Laurie's battle. Wait, there's only 10 minutes left? 5 of which isn't the fight. Damn. Their scuffle is at least great, albeit just way too short. They really take swings at each other until Laurie is able to pin bro down and start messing him up. She removes his mask and cuts his neck. She won. Oh god. He picks her up by the throat, and in a super sweet shot, we see flashes of their past as she screams to do it. But like in Halloween Kills, she wasn't talking to Michael, but instead to Allison. She frees Laurie and then aids in finishing him off.
Pause.
They did it. They actually got him. I mean, they drained him. There's nothing left for them to do.
Not dead enough.
Wait, what? With the sheriff and Frank escorting them, they drive with Michael's body strapped to the roof of her car. Seeing this, everyone, and I mean everyone, follows behind them. As Frank puts it, so the town can heal.
Time for Haddonfield to start healing.
Arriving to Corey's junkyard, they crowd surf Michael to some sort of equipment that, oh my god, grinds bro into a paste. The movie prepares to wrap as Lori wraps up her book. Allison moves away while Lori continues pursuing her relationship with Frank. The movie ends with a shot inside Lori's home, the town healing from their trauma. Halloween Ends is a polarizing conclusion to a kind of polarizing trilogy. Before I can rate the film, I need to go over what I was mentioning earlier. First, let's discuss what the film got right for me. So, let's be fair here. Halloween Ends isn't some lazy cash grab. The filmmakers tried something different, the tone is atmospheric, and the cinematography is clean. And thematically, there's actually something here. The movie explores how evil can be passed on, how trauma spreads and infects a town. Corey Cunningham's descent into darkness is interesting in theory, and the idea of someone becoming the next Michael Myers is ambitious. Lastly, there's tension, for sure, and solid performances from many in the cast. But here's the problem. It's called Halloween Ends. It's marketed as the final showdown between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. And instead, we get 80% Corey Cunningham and about 10 minutes of Michael. And yes, before it gets said, I do know that his time here was on par with the original, but in the original, there was the overwhelming pressure that he's out there, stalking his prey. But here, he's not even outside, he's in a freaking sewer hole. Fans waited over 40 years for closure between Laurie and Michael, and instead, Michael's literally hiding in a sewer for most of the movie. Hear me out now, hear me out. Corey Cunningham, great. His execution in the story? Where falters is how sudden it is. Where was he in the previous films? Why only introduce him in the last movie? Picture this for me. He was a character in at least Halloween Kills, and begins establishing a connection to the Strode family, only for him to become the evil in the next and final film. It, for me, would flow a whole lot better as everything about this one felt a little rushed. Like it was a last-minute decision. Speaking of last minute, him and Allison. They knew each other for all of 5 minutes, and you expect me to just believe they immediately fall madly in love? Come on, dude. So yeah, I mean, it's good, but not at the same time. I honestly believe if this wasn't a Halloween affiliated film, it would have been seen far differently. But here we are. Okay, so now that I've reviewed all of the movies, let's actually get into this full-on ranking of every single Halloween movie. So first up, the original from 1978 is an automatic S tier. I'm pretty sure everybody knew that going into this, so that'll be an easy S tier. But what about Halloween 2? Now this one gets a little bit different because it's technically the original end of Michael Myers. It's where he did technically pass over, and Halloween 3 Season of the Witch was the replacement because they wanted to make an anthology series, whatever. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I don't really care too much about the whole brother-sister like relationship tag team thing. I don't really care about all that. I prefer the no motive Michael just going to go. But so with that being said, Halloween 2 is still a goated movie, but like I kind of just wish there was more of the actual town instead of just the hospital the entire time. But it was still a good movie, so A tier. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, the one that no one likes to talk about. Now this one for me is actually an underrated movie. It kind of goes into another movie later on. If you just didn't label this a Halloween movie, I think it would have done numbers. And this movie kind of has kind of like a cult fan base built up now after the fact. During the original airing and whatnot, it was looked down upon. But I won't say it's something super special, but it's nothing terrible, so I'm gonna go B tier. Next up, Halloween 4, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Now, as badly as I hate this crow's outfit in this, Michael Myers looks goofy in this, but putting that aside, it is a good Halloween movie. I'm gonna say it's a little bit better than Halloween 3. I enjoy Halloween 4 for what it is. This is actually The Revenge of Michael Myers. That Halloween 4 was The Return. I messed up, dude. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. No, but Halloween 5, good, but is it better than Halloween 4? No, it's not. It's going C tier. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. There is technically 2 different versions of this, but I'm gonna just go based on the version that I know the most and off the top of my dome. It's not a good movie. It's borderline D tier, but I may go C tier. Psych is going D tier. Okay, so if you haven't noticed, I had to zoom out a little bit because this tier list is getting a little thick. Speaking of getting a little thick, one of my favorite Halloween movies, Halloween H2O. No offense to the actor, but he was not a scary looking Michael Myers, unlike a version that's coming up, basically. But Halloween H2O has a very special place in my heart. as it's kind of like the one I watched the most growing up. So for me personally, I'm gonna have to go A tier. I love this movie. It's not better than 2, but it's a great movie. It's one of those Halloween movies I just typically watch every Halloween, like October season. Cannot say the same about Halloween Resurrection. Don't get me wrong, it's not my least favorite movie. I know that's probably gonna surprise a lot of you, but it's not my least favorite movie. And at one point in a certain video in my review, I did say it was the worst movie. But I've grown, I've matured, dude. This is no longer my least favorite, but it's still my second least favorite, so sorry. Rob Zombie's Halloween, the Halloween one. B tier, easy. It's good, but they spend a little too much time on the Kid Michael stuff. It's good. I like the focusing on the Kid Michael a little bit, but it does not need to be for like the first 40 minutes, dude. That's a little too much. It also goes back into the thing that I just kind of prefer the no motive Michael, whereas this one kind of explains why he might be a little evil. Family is forever, huh? Halloween 2, you're going D tier forever. Sorry, bud, that you're my least favorite movie. Halloween 2 starts off very hard, dude. Like the opening scene of like the hospital is amazing, but it was fake. It was pointless, dude. It was a dream. It took me away from that movie. And then don't even get me started on the White Horse bullcrap. Halloween 2018, S tier, dude. This to me is as close to the original Halloween as it gets so far. It is special, dude. It takes away a lot of the other stuff. It gets rid of the sister thing as well. And I like that. It shows Michael is just killing to kill. He has no reason. He has no tie to Laurie. He just gets tossed there by Dr. Sartain, and he's like, okay, since I'm here, I guess I'll go for it. But it's an all-around perfect movie. I love Halloween 2018. But I cannot say the same about Halloween Kills. Now, don't get me wrong. The kills are phenomenal in this movie. It has some spectacular set pieces. The soundtrack's phenomenal. There's some moments where Michael's just a true badass, dude. But other than that, it's lacking a lot. It does not have much of a story. So I'm gonna have to go B tier for this one. It's good, but it's lacking a story. And lastly, Halloween Ends, probably the most divisive movie out of the entire franchise. Because unlike Halloween 3, Michael is technically in it, but for like 10 minutes, bro really gets sidelined by Corey Cunningham, a guy that we never met before. But again, like Halloween 3, if you title this something else, like The Babysitter Massacre or something like that, it would have done numbers. It's a great story that just kind of takes away from its own self because it has Michael, but it makes him the background. And I get what they're doing. It's a cool story, but maybe add Corey in like Halloween 2018 or at the very least Halloween Kills. Everything felt rushed, but still a good movie. It's overhated in my opinion, but I'm gonna have to go bottom of B tier. I like Halloween Kills slightly more than Ends. I really think the new trilogy went from best to worst as it goes, but none of them are overly terrible in my opinion. But that's my ranking of the entire Halloween franchise. I hope you like it. Let me know your ranking down below. Maybe we agree, maybe we disagree. That's the best part. Let me know, man. Let's hear it. I also covered the Scream franchise. If you want to see my full ranking of the entirety of the Scream franchise, click here. I appreciate you, stay chill, and I'll see you next time.